Welcome to this week's episode of the Debated Podcast. Joining Jordan, Cabello, Warren, Thando, and Douglas on this week's episode is the CEO of Girl Boss, Nonhle.
Providing them with a brand that gives them access to opportunities to help discover themselves whilst they're young.
So that what you see, what you consume regularly, you become.
I mean, it's a formula. Are you going to try to reinvent the wheel and make it square?
Exactly. And sometimes there's straight down the line saying, girl boss.
A big portion of something small or a small portion of something big. I'll just someone answer me.
That's my experience. I'll be speaking to my entrepreneur when we sign 6-figure contracts.
So we call her the busy bee, and I love having her around. So it's just always good to look at her.
I'm getting that brain like a mathematician, and Austin is that's on a mission to burn up the studio, melt down the kitchen. I'm done to make money.
What?
The Debated Podcast on VooVix TV.
So, bro, there's this thing, right? Trust me, I don't really want to speak about it. But you know when you go to the ATM, and I'm so sorry, most of the time it is our older generation. But they get to the ATM, bro, and you don't know what this person is doing. Are they trying to re-register themselves into the system? I'm not sure. I'm lost at that point. And then people take 10 minutes at an ATM, bro. It's not rocket science.
Not even 10, more than that.
No, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
With me, I literally go to the ATM. If I take 30 seconds, I've taken long.
You know what? It reminds me of, there's this viral video going online where this guy puts a statue on the ATM and you got people queuing, thinking there's somebody actually there. And it's one of the busiest ATMs. So you've got this long queue of people just queuing and queuing. And then one of them just thinks I'm going to just poke that person, and pokes it, finds out it's a statue. And you can imagine the disappointment. Come on, guys.
It's crazy. And speaking of viral moments on videos, I actually saw another one at the ATM, and it's literally this guy standing next to his girlfriend. So his girlfriend is at the ATM, and so the way I'm seeing it in my mind is the guy doesn't work. And it works. And it's payday. And the way he's holding her and caressing it, it's like, my love. Wow. I'm just saying, that's what I saw.
Look, it's girl power. It's girl power. Spice Girl said it. It's girl power.
The good thing for me that happened last week was, you guys know I'm a blind person. Technically blind.
I'm not going to say you're wandering, I see you.
So, we were in a public space and someone was waving towards my direction. So I'm thinking to myself, oh, this person's greeting me. But I can't recognize this person, But I'm like, hey, I'm greeting back either way. And then as they come closer and then they approach towards me, I look back and I realize that, oh, snap. He's actually greeting the person behind me. So it's just in the middle of everything.
There's no recovery from
No, there isn't. No, there really isn't.
And they both felt so sorry for me. They were like, oh, this poor girl. They just gave me that look.
That's a future reference, Thando, right? When you get to those situations, when you do greet and you're not too sure, try and keep your hand as close as possible to your head so that if they don't greet you, then you just start scratching. Just keep going, bro. Keep it moving.
Guys, I'm going to keep it moving, as you say, because obviously we can be talking about awkward things forever. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Debated Podcast on VooVix TV. Yes, it's 2024 and we are so glad to be here. And joining us on this version of the show is sponsored by Girl Boss. And talking about Girl Boss, we have the CEO of Girl Boss and is Nonhle. Nonhle on the show. Nonhle, how are you? How you doing, Nonhle?
I'm very well.
I can see Nonhle giving me the side eye, like, you know what? Is he going to pronounce my name right? Focused. Focused.
People always get it wrong, so I'm really glad.
Did I do well?
Excellent.
Thank you so much. Well, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Look, before I actually get on, Girl Boss, I like the name Girl Boss. You know why? Because all the girls, I've only got girls in my family, and my mom is the boss of the boss. Like, she is literally, when you call bosses, she's the next level of boss. So why Girl Boss?
I think it started because we realized it needed to be a brand that really catered to the girl child and a brand that was committed and dedicated in everything that they do to ensure that, hey, our efforts go towards empowering young girls so they don't have to get stuck in the rat race and later on in life having to figure out who they really are and want to be in the world. So providing them with a brand that gives them access to opportunities to help discover themselves whilst they're young so that, we build bosses while growing and navigating this journey of life.
Girl boss. Girl power today.
But talking about girl power, who was your favorite Spice Girls?
Spice Girls.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I mean, I'm gonna say Victoria Beckham. That's all I know. That's all I know. Posh Spice.
Because I tell you what. In that era of Spice Girls, right? I mean, obviously, they probably didn't even know what they were doing, but they really kind of ushered that girl power. I mean, they're in a funny way because all of them were so different, right? Like in the pop world, they kind of like ushered. They gave a lot of girls confidence to do a lot of stuff that was different. Whereas when you
so you remember these shoes, right? Every female in my family had those shoes. Like you see those.
I got two sisters.
They literally called them the Spice Girls.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember those shoes?
My little sister was practically Scary Spice, right? Every day. She was going, wanna be? Yeah. I'm still scared. Anyway, it's a debated podcast. So what do we do in a debated podcast? The first thing we always do is to show our guests the box. And it's not that kind of box, guys. Not that kind of box. It's your chance to choose one of the cards from the debated box.
A random card.
Any card. All right, then.
Marketing for impact. Authentic representation for everyone.
That's a strong one you just picked. That's a
Everybody
took a drink. That's a strong one. All right. Let me set the scene. All right, because sometimes topics could sound boring, but when you actually set the scene, it's not that boring. Marketing for everyone. What does that really mean? Back in the days, let's talk about the 80s. People are as old as myself, I look 20, but obviously I go all the way back to the 80s. Yeah. People that from back in the days, there was a funny kind of marketing and advertising taking place around the world on television, etc., with females and with males, right?
Okay.
So, for example, cigarette, right? People don't know how cigarette became that successful. They used a lot of females to market cigarette. And so what will happen is it will say, oh, if you want to be sexy, you need to be smoking, right? So a lot of men, right, got to smoking because they saw women thinking it was sexy, right? But who put the women in that position to sell the cigarettes that were sexy? It was the men who was in the advertising agency. So it's a rolling circle, right? And then you go to gender marketing on TV. So you see there was a lot of kind of stereotypical, marketing where, sex sells. And then when it came to guys, they will be serious. There'll be more, you have to go to work. And what happened with that was that what people don't understand is an advertising stays in the mind, So what you see, what you consume regularly, you become. So every time you see this advert and you see that's what a man should do, that's what a woman should do, then you kind of feel like, oh, a woman should just be sexy 24/7 and a man should just go to work 24/7. So it was instilled and kids were seeing and they were growing with it. So there has to be a change. Are we all there yet? No, there isn't. We're not all there yet. When you see the Kylies, the Kims, the etc. So there has to be a kind of change. Now, the change is not for men to do what women were put to do. So there's men now that are doing the sexy thing. Right? They're going to get in the, do you know what I mean? They're going and getting the biceps. They're going to the gym, they're taking up there and there's all films for stripper men's. That's not the solution. The solution is not a sexualization of marketing. The solution is, there's a different kind of marketing which is based on just tell me the truth. Just say it is what it is,
So I actually hear you on that, Jordan, right? But now, as much as I also believe that the marketing needs to be tackled, should we not actually, because it's like you said, they are putting out what's resonating to the people most at this point.
Right.
So should we not start looking at the people, what they love consuming, like how to change the mind?
The funny thing is consumers don't know what they want. Because it's an empty can. So consumers don't know what they want. You get introduced to Uber and then you're like, oh shit, that's great. I don't have to go on the street. Like let me tell you why Uber was successful in certain countries like America and the UK that have a huge population of, should I say, different ethnic majorities,
Yes.
because people call them ethnic minorities and say you're lying. These are ethnic majorities, right? So in America, you have a lot of ethnic majorities, from Asians to blacks to Latinos to Mexicans, etc. But there was a time where in the UK, in Europe, in America, where you stand on the street and you're trying to hail for a taxi, and you could be there for an hour and no taxi will stop.
Oh, snap.
It's a different form of racism. But when Uber came along, right, people were just like, oh, wow. Like, oh, there's like, all I need to do is, you don't need to see my face. And then when you get in a car, you just be your personality and they give you a good star rating. And then people just judge you by your star rating. Wow. Now, my whole point of that is that people didn't know they needed Uber. The same way people didn't know they needed Airbnb. The same most products people don't know they need. So the consumers themselves are just there to consume.
Ooh.
So we have to delve them. So when we are building a scenario in marketing that's creating a stereotype, that's why, I have a 3-year-old. It's so difficult watching TV with my son, because the time where it's like pre-watershed and even after, like where you shouldn't be having to hide the content, even the advert F's you up. Mm-hmm. You see the adverts, some kind of thing happens in it. They put something in the advert that you're like, nah.
Even the subliminals.
And if he sees it, and he's so smart, if he sees it, that's it. He just keeps talking about it the whole time. So
that's actually crazy. And when you think about it, right? Like, I know with a fact, there's certain female rappers that I just don't want to listen to.
Yeah.
And it's not because it's the same with males as well. Firstly, I want to state that.
Yeah.
The reason I don't listen to them and I wouldn't let my kids listen to them is because of the message that they have in the music.
100%.
And for me, like, for the life of me, I can't understand it. I remember the one time I was literally sitting with a group of friends of mine, and I was preaching that for myself personally, and I'm not saying this to anyone else that they should do this. Me personally, I would not let my daughter, once I have a daughter, listen to Nicki Minaj. That's me.
Or Cardi B.
And I kid you not. So we were probably about 10 people, and about 60% of it was the female population. They jumped down my throat, telling me that you can't say that because of the fact that Nicki is a queen. I'm like, whoa, pause.
Who put her there?
Pause. Nicki is one of the best female rappers in the world. Facts. Yes, and I cannot take that away. But calling her a queen, it's very tricky, and it gets dangerous because little girls are going to be looking up to this queen.
And start
this is how I need to be.
her.
So for me, I was just like, when it comes to the marketing side of things, I feel like the moment we can remove sex completely, like out of the whole concept, like it has to be sexual in order to
I agree with you.
It'll be a lot better. Because back in the day when we grew up, things weren't being sold through sex. Yes, there was being sex used, but they didn't sell through sex primarily, if you get what I'm saying. So I just think we need to get back to that.
But
you need to
understand.
I've analyzed.
No, but you need to understand how social media, also what social media has actually done to marketing.
Sure.
I understand what you mean, keeping your daughter away from Nicki Minaj and them and all of that. But what is social media today with the generation of today? Like, you have your kids that are 16 looking up to your influencers that sell to them that selling your body is the way to get to this position.
Yes.
Being with rich men is the way to get to the position.
That's true.
And what do high corporations as well do? They adapt to the marketing because they're also trying to sell. Don't forget that their main point is to sell.
Yeah.
They don't care about the implications.
The implications, no.
Like,
but if I want to sell to somebody that their idol always sexualizes everything, then I'm going to sell something and sexualize it so they're also interested in that thing.
And that's the thing about marketing, because they actually learn
how the market works.
How the market actually responds. It's like same with, for example, with the social media, what they feed you. Even the algorithm itself feeds you what you actually engage with at first. So the moment now I type car and I see a car, next time I open Facebook, I'm going to see another car. And it just shows me more cars. You
might want to block it, so the algorithm just
going to keep
again.
feeding you exactly whatever that you actually paid attention to at first.
Yeah. But then you'd also say that brands are marketing impactfully then, because they pick up your algorithm and they bring onto your timeline what you engage with. And that's
They're
impactful.
learning.
Yeah.
They're learning.
That's what I'm trying
That
to
is a
say.
PowerPoint. And the thing is, they can't run away from the fact that people are actually responding to this. If people are it's a formula. Are you going to try to reinvent the wheel and make it square?
Exactly the point.
Or are you just going to keep
it goes without saying, that's another reason why Nonhle, I liked the name Girl Boss to start with, because, marketing doesn't start with what you do with the advertising, and marketing starts with the name.
The name,
right?
yes,
The brand
that's
says it all. A lot of people in the past, and I always call, there is a difference between, building a long-term successful brand and just being lucky, right? So a lot of people will have a very difficult brand name, and they will call it so whatever it is, right? And you're always like, I can't even pronounce the name. What does it mean, etc., etc. Now, sometimes it works because that's mystery, right? The mystery of kind of like using that. So it's like
Six Flags.
it gives you a chance to say, what does it mean? Right?
Yeah.
But then sometimes the straight down the line saying girl boss or saying this is it actually is marketing in itself, because the name itself empowers you.
Yes.
True, right? So if you
Yes.
if you had a sister, if you had a daughter, if you had an auntie, etc., you'd be like, yeah, I'm part of the girl boss community. If you say that, you already know that
Self-explanatory.
it's safe.
Yeah.
So I wonder if that kind of also kind of inspired you in terms of the marketing behind the name itself as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think it holds us responsible for every type of content that we put out there to resonate with the name in itself. So no matter how much the internal organization may change, whoever comes on board, it's easy for them to just adapt to who we are simply just by knowing the name and through that learning the culture, etc. But everything that we put out there, it's led and inspired by the name. Is it empowering? Is it for the woman? Simple.
And that's purpose right there. Without purpose.
Exactly.
That's purpose. That is definitely purpose. Obviously, where our topic is marketing, bringing that into the realm. So what do we think? Do we think the way, gender marketing is today needs to change and it needs to be more balanced? Or do we think, we're going the right direction now, right? Because you mentioned social media, you mentioned people are dancing around on social media, people are getting the algorithm and kind of like connecting and doing exactly the same thing. Do you as marketers or marketeers be creative and invent, or do you follow?
Invent.
Right.
Definitely. Definitely
Right.
invent. I don't like being a sheep.
I hear you.
I'm way much more a herder myself
I hear
than a sheep, so I'm not gonna be following any crowds. That's just me.
Definitely. I also feel like marketing needs to change.
Definitely.
How everything is being done, it needs to change. We're not going the right direction right now.
Definitely.
I believe on my side, with the current marketing, it is impactful in terms of the overall success of a company, for example, in terms of getting sales and everything and, getting the results. But all in all, we have to remember that we're not marketing to robots. We are marketing to human beings.
Yes.
We are marketing to the next generation. We are marketing to our grandsons that are yet to come, even the generations that we don't even know. So we just have to be conscious of, when we actually market, who are we actually speaking to? Because we can be speaking to, our current consumer base of now, but this brand is still going to carry over to the next generations, and it'll continue to have an impact to the next generation. So I think it is very profound that actually Girl Boss itself, is grounded within purpose so that it can actually be aligned in the communication to the next generation too. So on my side, I just think that, it's very important for us to just be conscious of the fact that we're speaking to other human beings. That's it.
Right, so guys, is that debated then?
Definitely.
That's debated. All right. Okay. Can I all agree that's debated then? Okay. All right. So let's find another topic. Put your hands into the magic box. All right. All right, Tando.
Alrighty.
Can I have the box back? Thank you very much.
Is networking different for female entrepreneurs versus male entrepreneurs? And what are the hurdles faced by both genders?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie on this one. I want to hear you guys' input first.
Yeah. Yeah. Me too.
Ladies first.
Yeah.
I wouldn't necessarily say it's
Since
different.
you've been in that space where you've had
Exactly.
interactions. Yeah.
Networking is networking at the end of the day. I think perhaps maybe the question is asking what happens when women network with other women and what happens when men network with other men. Yeah. And I know that women tend to feel that, women tend to want to stand in the way of another woman progressing or climbing the ladder or meeting someone who could potentially help them excel, because maybe she may tend to feel like, hey, I'm the one who should be doing or getting to these places first or something like that. So with males, I feel like they're always putting each other on. It's the same way that a man has and wears different kinds of confidence compared to a woman. I know that a man can apply, for example, for a job that he may not qualify for compared to a woman. So a man is able to sell himself and another man can actually take him on and be like, hey, I know someone who I think would be good for you. But I don't know if women tend to do that for each other as well.
Yeah, I think for me, we have touched on this topic before in the previous episode. I think women do have a tendency of feeling inferior and not necessarily putting each other on because they just feel like, I wouldn't say it's coming from a place of jealousy or anything like that, but yeah, they do have a tendency of feeling inferior, and it makes it a bit difficult for them to put another woman on and make sure that they're both successful. Everyone in the room is successful. You understand what I'm saying? So I think, like you touched on it, right? Whereas with men, I don't think men it's not easy for them to get jealous of each other. They like putting each other on. They like giving each other opportunities, because you can find that we're friends and I'm telling you, hey, dude, there's a tender that came out last week. Don't you want to apply for it and whatnot? Whereas with women, it's not easy for a woman to provide or to give out an opportunity to another woman. But it's hard for them to see another woman succeed.
You say, why is that?
Why is that though?
Let's go to the root word, networking, right? You're working through a net to capture just the fish that you need, meaning the clients you need, right? The thing about the men versus women debate when it comes to networking is that men have been networking for a long time just by their very nature, right? This is not about who's better, who's not. It's just whoever's been doing that for a long time. Now, this is why. Let's take a pretty lady, right? You guys, pretty ladies, right? And let's take a handsome guy. You guys, handsome guy.
Thank you, man.
Right? Don't matter how handsome you are, you will always have to be the one to walk to the pretty lady.
True.
I'm just going for basic experience. What happens when you walk to somebody? It takes courage. It takes confidence. You have to spark a conversation. You need to be entertaining. You need to be engaging. Because the moment you don't sound engaging, you are, right? Yeah. Now, those skills are developed unconsciously throughout the livelihood of guys, right? Guys are always approaching. Not knowing, they always use that. They start using that approach that they've always done in the workplace, in the business. So you get a first job, and you're the person who will, approach the managing director, the marketing director. How you doing? You're right. How's your family? But girls are always being approached. So when you're being approached, you're the receiver. You're the one judging. You're the queen. You're the one saying, I like you, I don't like you, or etc. Now, when you bring that into the business side of things, there's nobody's approaching you. It's all about the energy, the confidence, all of the stuff. Now, if you don't know how to do it in that space, and I maybe I should kind of I should not generalize and say or specify and say pretty and handsome and pretty. I say women and men in general, because it doesn't really matter if you're pretty or handsome. You have to go through this anyway, right? This having to kind of talk to people, and I feel that men generationally have been the ones that have always been, like, by our very nature, being the ones to go and spark up a conversation, and women have always been relaxed and waiting for the conversation and rejecting if the conversation doesn't sound good for them. I think once that changes, right, then you're going to see that applied to the workplace, because look, everything you know how to do about outside of work actually makes sense in work, because you're not interacting with non-humans. I have this thing where I say, right, you know, when you're driving, going to the office, you're driving to the office and passing all these people who are driving to go to the office to talk to them in the office. So you're going to go to the office to call all these people you've been passing on the way. They are the same people you're going to be talking to in the office, right? So if you don't learn how to, you know, interact, how to be able to engage, how to understand about body language, right? Understand, you know, the kind of vibes you give off, right? Understand the energy. What happens is it becomes lackluster for you. Now, the women who do it quite well become extremely successful.
Exactly. I was literally about to
when you
say
look at your most successful women in the world, right? And, you know, I'm not talking about her personal life. I mean, I don't agree with the stuff that she does on the personal level. So I'm not talking about personal life. I'm talking about, you know, in terms of business, work ethics, people like the Oprah Winfrey, for example. You know, whether it's you get the car. Everybody gets a car. But the point is, you know, she walks in a room, right? And I'm talking back in the day more than now, because I mean, after a certain point, you're more relaxed. You know, I mean, she's a billionaire. I mean, she doesn't have to network. She's networking, is just be nice. You know what I mean? So, but back in the day, you could see that when she walks in the room, everybody was on it, right? So you look at the pop industry, you look at people like Rihanna, you look at anybody who's successful in the pop industry, and you look at the way they interact, the way they react, the confidence of like being there, always in the present. That's what makes them successful, you know? So I think that's a key lesson. That's not taught enough, but it's not even taught to the male gender. The male gender just finds themselves in a situation where they have to do it to survive. They just have to do it. You have to do it.
True, and I love digressing from things, so I'm about to digress. So with me personally, right, so I hear you actually, and that's true that the male has always approached. But now, what I love, guys, what I really, really love is as you get older as a man, you actually start getting value. You become more valuable than what you were in your 20s. Like in your 20s, you're just that guy that's trying to bone basically everywhere.
Jesus.
Like, if we're being honest. No, but if we're being honest. And then, you know, once you start reaching your 30s and so, you know, guys, when you step in a club, do you know how nice it feels as a gen for you to not have to go and approach anyone? If you're interested, come and talk to me. I'm not going to bite you. I'm not going to stab you. I'm not going to shoot you. Come and talk to me if you want to talk to me. You know, so at the age I am.
I don't want to digress. I have to interject. You digress. I want to interject.
Go ahead.
You saying in your 20s, if someone approaches you, stab and shoot and
no, I didn't get approached in my 20s.
Because I don't know how romantic it is. When someone says, look, come on, push you. I'm not going to stab you.
I'm in my 30s now.
You don't know the kind of cases I'm like. I mean, one day this girl approached me and I was just like, where's my knife? I'm like what's going on?
No, but in your 20s, you don't get approached really, you know, because you're that guy that's chasing. Right. You're trying to have a conversation with a beautiful girl. And then when you get to your 30s, the beautiful girls start looking at you and they're like, whoo, man. And it's like they lose their breath when they look at you.
But if you say so yourself, you don't need any way to say it for you. If you say so yourself,
my brother.
Bro, I am a musician and an instrumentalist.
I think we should have a hashtag. Hashtag lose your breath. Hashtag musician. Hashtag instrumentalist. It's true to get your mental list. That's it.
Like honestly though, on this topic, I would agree actually with Mr. J because of the women that I've actually seen step up and take ownership and actually walk into a certain space with that dominion. They actually, I don't know if they know it, but the moment they step into that position, they literally own the room much more than a guy can own a room.
The whole energy of that room.
The entire energy of the room can be controlled just by one women.
I agree.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's a girl boss, by the way.
I agree.
So, which raises a question. Do you think women should be taught ways in how to enter, when they enter a room?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
They know the amount of power that they possess, and they're able to take charge and just change things.
I think that should be taught from a school level. I think the way, and it's for men too. Men also need to be taught the approach and read. I was lucky that I always say this, right? I had a room full of women, right? So I got my sisters, I got my mom. They're teaching me game, right? And I feel like men need to be taught how to interact better with women.
Absolutely.
And women need to be taught not just how to interact better with men, but how to interact with men to make sure it's productive. Why? Because we are different genders. Women have found, my mom has been in business now for literally 50 years in business, right? And she found she found that anytime, and she's high level business, she runs loads of high level companies, and she found that every time she walked into an office of a guy to have a business meeting, that another guy will walk into that same office, the guy will be talking, and then we would talk about business, and he'll be like, "Oh, madam, you're very pretty, yeah?" And I'm like, so my mom will always come back and be like, what did that have to do with relevance? So she had to adopt an attitude of fierceness. Like, me and her are so close now, we talk all the time. And then she had to adopt this attitude just because men didn't understand that she was simply trying to do business. So she became hardcore, right? And the more hardcore you are, the more hardcore you are, that the men start getting scared of her.
Exactly.
Right? Exactly. So she walks like, oh, madam's coming. And all my life, I saw men scared of my mom, right? And it was fine because, obviously, you've got my dad. It's not like it's no problem there. But the thing is, when I saw her with my dad, right, it was different. It was submissive. But when I saw and it took me a long time to kind of be like, it's now that we have our conversations. I'm like, but why mommy, you used to shout all the time. Like, why? Then I get it. Because every guy, if you there will be kind of connotations. There'll be dropping of certain things. You'll be talking about one thing, they'll be talking about a different thing. So there has to be, as you said, Tando, there's got to be, this is a very, very important thing, because as the next generation goes, you can't have a repetition of this thing happening, because it's all jokes until it hurts. Yeah. Because if you have to put yourself, I always think, I know how it feels like for someone to be racist towards me. So I know how it feels like for, every woman entrepreneur to go into a meeting situation, and then, the understanding is different, right? And sometimes it's so important and crucial, you need to get that contract that you have to just play along with it. And in the past, so a lot of women just playing along with it, just being like, they just smiled it through. And I've had so many stories, like I've met so many stories where people come back to me and be like, yeah, Jordan, man, like I had to just smile. I had to be, I hated every moment of it. And it's like, why? Because at every moment, it wasn't about what we came there to talk about, and we're all equals. It was just, things, and it's, and people sometimes don't talk about it because it's like, you don't want to put people under the bus, but you want to say something.
You know what I actually think, right? Back to what you said, male versus male, in regards to networking, and female versus female in regards to networking. I feel like generally men just are able to get along more. If you talk about networking and putting on somebody else, it's easier to get into a group of men where they're just having fun. But when it comes to me putting you on, now that is a whole different story.
It's true.
You understand? We could have fun the whole weekend. I could spend a lot of money on you. But if I'm going to try now, if you're going to ask me to teach you how to make that money, now that is a whole different story. Now I'm going to put it aside. Now, in regards to where it's male versus female, a lot of guys at high positions and find it easier to put on females because they tend, like you're saying, there's a lot of things here. It's easier to put them on because they're trying to benefit something. Now, to put on another male, There ain't nothing I really am trying to benefit.
I disagree.
Wait, no, but it happens at different levels. I mean, look at how Hollywood is.
No, let me tell you why I disagree. Let me tell you why I disagree. You guys will come back on this. Let me tell you why I disagree. I can only talk from personal level, right? So I've been in business for like 27, 28 years, right?
Yes.
And I put on a lot of females and I put on a lot of males.
Yes.
Right? Let me tell you my experience, right? Now, because I didn't have a brother, so my relationship was sisters and sisters that had loads of friends because our family business is basically schools and colleges, right? Okay. So basically everyone who's coming to our schools, nursery, colleges becomes friends because you came to our nursery onto college level. So we had like extended family like crazy. The issue we put in on why, so I'm talking personally, and my friends too will be the same, will be, I find, right, when it comes down to the business, every time I've tried to put on a man in business, it came with so much ego. It came with so much breaking down, so much like machoism of, you can't tell me this, you can't. So you're literally going through, you're like, I'm just trying to help you. I'm trying to help you. When it came to females, most of the time, the majority, not all the time, I'm not going to use South Africa as an example. I'm just going to look because if we use the example, it might not me. But when it came to that, what I found was that women were more, they have, I think it's the nurture ability. They have that kind of natural thing to instinctively know you're coming from a good place. Mm-hmm. So you're able to be like, right, let me tell you something. If you do this like this, this was going to happen like that. If you do this like, and they will follow through without any ego. And once they follow through without any ego, and they were willing to do that, they just went clear. And the people who have the most amount of ego is men before women. Mm-hmm. Women are more, the majority of what I found, we're more shy, we're more, unconfident, we're more mentally and physically and spiritually scarred from something that's happened back in the day. And what you do is you turn it around by explaining to them that you need to delete, and then you need to concentrate on the future, etc. And what happened is once they deleted this baggage, they became extremely successful.
So wait. There's no right marketing or the networking, between men and men is a struggle. Is basically what we're saying is a struggle, and woman and woman is a struggle. So
I don't think between men. I don't think between men and men is a struggle. So that was your opinion. I think if it was a struggle, then you wouldn't see men being successful because most men will walk into a business meeting and a contract is getting signed.
Definitely.
That's what happens. So once women walk in a business meeting and the contract might be signed or there might be different elements going to the room, especially if you're an amazing looking. There will always, like, people, you have to be honest. Like, we are going to be completely honest, right? It happens in Hollywood. It happens, you're seeing all these stories coming out now about all this stuff coming out. And it's not because this didn't happen. This was what was happening. So my whole thing is, a lot of things are getting done because guys are walking in the room and getting things done. This is happening. Yes, there are situations where, guys, you go drink, you have fun and no contract will be happening. But most of the high level, successful entrepreneurs, they get stuff done, right? They'll be drinking and doing deals at the same time. That's my experience. I'll be speaking to my entrepreneur and we signing 6-figure contracts at the same time. And that's nothing. Right? That's normal. We are going to play golf to sign a deal.
So what you're saying is that
we're competing and then signing a deal.
So it's not necessarily about networking, but who you're networking with.
No,
yes,
I'm saying so. I'm not saying who you network with. I'm saying you need to learn how to network properly on the female side. On the male side, we need to learn that, look, if you have an open door policy, on not judging anybody before they walk through the door, either male or female, you might actually end up with much more successful company overall or successful business overall. Because I feel like the two genders have a problem. One gender wants to do business with only men. This is traditionally, if you look at I don't even have to look at statistics. Just look at the amount of business partnership deals that there are in the whole world. Just look at the heads of the companies. Yeah. Who are they?
All right. Yeah.
Why? Are you telling me those heads can't be females? Now look at the CEOs who are females of companies across the world who are FTC, FTSE 100 companies and are successful. They do exactly the same thing.
100%.
So what's the difference? The difference is there's something that's missing. There's a missing link that we're not intentionally being taught to work together. So now, let me land this plane, right?
Let me land.
Let me land.
What is the underlying problem? Competition.
Exactly.
What are we being taught? So it starts with competing against each other, and it goes to competing between genders.
Yeah.
So what happens is we are in an invisible competition, and we pretend that we're not in. So men are in a competition, we're not pretending, right? Until we actually sit down and have a conversation and say, dude, we're not, what are we competing for? This is like, what's the point of this? Let's have fun. And then but when you drop the competition, you will see men will drop the competition and create a partnership, right? But then men don't know how to drop the competition between women. Women don't know how to drop the competition between men, because it's like, how do we kind of get that's what needs to be taught. Get rid of competition. What you replace that with is people who are learning about each other, and we knowing that we're not the same, and this is what it takes to work. Learning what you're bringing to the table, learning what I'm bringing to the table, and that's where the partnership becomes successful.
I hear you. So with me in my life, if I'm looking at it, I can say wholeheartedly, and I can say without even feeling bad, because I can say that there's probably been only about 4 males who actually took the time to actually like, okay, wait, I see something in this guy. Instead of saying that, okay, wait, I see something in this guy. Whoa. This one is trying to take my position. Because that's what it's always. Most men are on that. Yes. And with my side, so on my side, it's always been managers that I've worked for in the past, right? You find that in the past that just because of the fact that this manager is saying, okay, this person has leadership skills. Okay, this person knows how to talk to a team. You don't even have all of the skills that he has as a manager. But just because of the fact that he's seeing small things, he's like, I'm not even going to let this one have a chance. I'm gonna keep him here at the bottom so that he never has a chance to actually blossom, so no one can see the fruit that he's carrying.
That's the competition element I'm talking about.
But then on the other side as well, like I said, I've had about 4 males in my life who actually they were like, bro, you are gonna be great. And they're not even scared to tell you that you are meant for greatness. I can see it. And they'll actually go as far as helping me. You understand? Like with my current employer as well, I can say that same thing. You understand? But now when you're looking at the past, it's the matter of, if I give this guy a carrot today, does that mean that tomorrow he's going to have a whole plantation of carrots?
That's the problem.
You understand?
That's the problem.
That's the problem with most men. And I think that's my problem that I've experienced.
He fears that you'll be better.
That's the problem. Whereas and you even find out with family as well. You're in a family, and then maybe you're I'm not saying my sister's very watch your answer. Love you, my sisters. I ain't talking about you. But I'm just saying, in general, you could be in a family. And you could be like, I mean, on a real level, playing you're watching, I love you to pieces. But we had a conversation in India. And I took her to India for something. She wasn't feeling well, so I took her to India for something. And we were having a conversation. And then she was very deep with me. She said, do you feel like you're the most successful in the family and everybody else is not? Do you feel like, you sacrificed a lot to be here with me, etc. And I broke it down to her. I said, do you know what? Nothing means more business-wise or anything than you. I said, I have never, ever had in my head a competitive attitude. And like, that is something that you need to cut. I'm telling you, it will be your downfall. Countries have gone down because they competed against other countries. It is that if you're not competing for games, for medals, the Olympics was formed because they were like, hey guys, we're competing about who is better, our country, and we're bombing each other's countries to say who is better. So why don't we stop this compete? Why don't we play for fun? Let's play games, win medals, everyone's happy, go home, no one's killed, right?
Exactly.
But this competition breeds jealousy. Jealousy is a sin. Jealousy is demonic. So what I'm saying is, right, it might look surface, but it's not really. This thing is important. Where in business, like when you talk about management, my management style has always been, I want everybody to be more successful than me. You have to, because why? Let me ask you a question. Does a teacher at university want him to be more successful than you?
No.
You come out of a university, you come back 10 years after, you're like, you still here? He's still there. And when he was teaching you, he saw so many people like you come in, talk to him like he was nothing. Would you understand?
Yeah.
And they would talk to him like he didn't know. You're like, no, but you don't know about me. I'm new. I'm there. He's seen this all his life. And then you go back, you become a doctor, you become like whatever.
Yeah.
You come back, you meet this guy or this woman still in the same place, teaching the same thing. Is he trying to compete with you? Or is he trying to teach you? The reality in life is once you learn that you have your PB, your personal best, and that's it, you don't try to compete with other people, genders, races, yourself, family, etc., etc.
Yeah.
You actually become more content and better in life because what you're trying to do is imagine you have 300 people you put on, 3,000 people you put on, 5,000 people. Do you know how good it feels when you see them? You're seeing them successful left, right, and center. And you're like, wow. You know what I mean? Like, it's amazing.
I'm contributing towards that.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like what you say right now. I actually have a friend of mine. He's very good at athletics and so forth, right? And he's always been one of those people that you'll find him in either he's going to be first, second, or third. He doesn't go lower than that, right? And I actually asked him once. And I asked him that.
Are you Usain Bolt? Sorry. I'm sorry.
But I actually asked him, I'm like, so how do you do it, bro? Like what's your goal? Like, how do you always make sure that you beat everyone else? It's like, I never focus on beating everyone else.
Sick.
I look at what's my personal best and I always try and exceed that. I'm like, wow,
I like
that's
that.
crazy.
I like that.
So that's how he does it.
That's it. But you know, it makes sense. It makes sense because if you're driving a car, what are you focused on? You need to be focused on. You can't you're looking at left, looking left. You need to be focused on the journey.
Yeah.
So I agree with that, man. I agree with that. That's powerful. That's powerful.
So
Is that debated?
That's debated. Yeah. All right. Okay. This looks like a film that I saw called The Dictator with Sacha Baron Cohen, and when he wanted to say everything was debated, this is wait. All right. Okay. So next up, I think is you, Douglas. Is the dog
Daddy
doggy
G.
fresh?
Dougie Fresh.
You know Doggy Fresh? The rapper.
I need to fresh.
He does know
Dougie Too Fresh.
I want to see. Do you know Doggy Fresh? He's like legend. He's legend rapper.
Mine is, should CEOs, employers teach their employees financial literacy and how to use their money?
We just had this conversation.
Truly.
Yeah, it's very important. I mean, it's about giving back to the people that you employ. I mean, okay, fine. You, as a CEO, I think the smartest thing you do is hire people who are smarter than you, right? But at the same time, you need to invest into those same people. And, at Girl Boss, I employ a lot of people who are from underprivileged communities, like from the townships. And we have CSI that's giving back to the community, but we also have in-house training programs to help, inspire and educate and empower the lives of our most important stakeholder, which is our employee. So, I do think that if we want to see change out there, we better start at home as well, helping those that work and build the family with us, and then work towards doing that outside as well. So financial literacy, yes. In the economic times that we're living in right now, yes, they need to know and they need to do better. With the people that I employ, I realized that the first pay that they got, they'd buy crazy lavish things. And, I remember asking my employee, I'm like, how, this is your first salary. Why did you buy so much unnecessary things? He's like to me, all my life I grew up and I couldn't afford this TV, for example. And so now I want this flat screen TV because that's all I've ever wanted. And that's understandable because he's got a lot of catching up to do, he thinks, right? But if we were to, and educate him differently, to be like, okay, cool, I'm sorry that that's what happened and that's how you grew up, but here's an opportunity for you to actually start creating wealth and create more money for the future of your family and not just you in this current moment.
I completely agree. Because financial literacy is everything.
Yeah.
You should want the people around you to be financially successful, and not just financially successful. Just to put it bluntly, if you're making millions, everybody around you should be a millionaire.
Exactly.
If they're not making a millionaire, they're not becoming a millionaire. Then how can you sleep at night? My conscience ain't clean if the people around me are not making millions, or you're not showing them how to. It's that kind of, hey, you want me to catch the fish for you, or you want me to show you how to catch fish? So, and then once you catch fish, how do you sell this fish to make sure it makes more wealth? How do you generate wealth for yourself? So, as you said, Nonhle, I agree that you can't have emotion when it comes to money. Right? A lot of people they don't understand money. That's the problem. They treat money in an emotional way. So when someone says, like, you mentioned the staff that would say something like, I've always wanted this TV, so I'm going to buy this TV. I say that's your emotion, right? That's your emotion. Money's not about emotion, right? Money is you want to disagree?
While you're there,
go on.
While you're there, I think I would like to hear, because I think with a lot of people who don't have that financial, from that perspective that you see it from, how do we find the balance between separating money from emotion, but in the same conversation not being insensitive in your approach to the situation?
Separating money from emotion is simple. It's like understanding what wealth is to riches. There are a lot of people who are rich and they get poor very fast.
Yeah.
So you've heard of stories of footballers or people that have had millions of pounds, and you're like, but what happened? Because they were rich in dollars, but they were poor in spirit. So the whole idea of what happens when you do something really well, you get rewarded for it. And the way you get rewarded for it in this thing we call wealth is by currency, is by money, right? But what you do with the money is to make sure you invest in assets. And why you invest in assets is to make sure you have something that's tangible. Because what did I say? You need to understand money. Money is printed in a printing facility.
Yeah.
So once you understand that, you start disrespecting money. Because I'm not saying disrespect money as in looking down on it. It's to understand that they say the root of, the root of evil is money. It's not really the root of evil is money. It's just that you are worshipping money. That's a paper. But you're not, see, that was an asset versus money. So for example, do you want a flat TV screen or do you want a house? Do you want a farm or do you want an apartment? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do you want to invest in stocks and shares, or do you want to invest in the latest Versace, the latest Moschino, Gucci brand, right? Because this Gucci brand is made in China.
But he'll say, I still want the Versace.
Yeah.
So how do you change his mind?
So that's the whole thing. That's where the emotions come in, because I have to sit them down and explain to them that, look, I don't want you not to want the Versace, because that's me saying to you that, hey, I don't want you to feel good. If that makes you feel good, let's be real. If drinking water makes me feel good, who are you to tell me not to drink water? So if wearing Gucci makes you feel good, great. Who am I to make you? But I'm trying to explain to you that wealth and riches are different. If you spend your money buying Gucci, Gucci knows they're having you, because Gucci's core audience, right? Core audience, primary audience, is not people who don't have $1 billion or $1 million, because they will release items for you to spend your money.
Yeah.
And they'll release one-off items that nobody else has.
Yeah.
So I have a little t-shirt with Gucci repeated here, right? And I have this leather shoe made with the finest leather from Italy with this on it, like that. They've only done 100 pairs. You got me in a waiting list, and blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And you're not even privy to that, but you are happy because you're invited to the club because you have the little brand that's a t-shirt made in China that you bought for like 20,000 rand. what are you doing? So I have to explain to you that that's not the way forward. Now, I ain't talking about products that are of need. If you need to brush your teeth, you need a toothpaste. If you need to do your hair, you need help. You need things that do you understand what I'm saying? That's different. But if you go and spend your pay check and buy, Louis Vuitton head to toe, cap Louis Vuitton, shoe, everything head to toe, and then you are spending money to impress people that don't like you. I don't care about you.
Exactly.
So then, that's what I would say that's the answer to that. I'm like, the majority of people that will see you in this Versace are not going to be like, one day, 10 years from now, they're not going to be like, Ash, man, oh my God, did you see Warren? Warren was wearing Versace.
No one cares, bro.
Exactly. Except you're in primary school.
100%.
Nobody has these conversations in success world. No, even in success world. Let me tell you, the most successful people, Mark Zuckerberg's wearing a t-shirt.
Just a plain
t-shirt.
Could have got it at Woolies.
You understand what I'm saying? So, and then the least successful people have a massive chain with gold on it. It's like you are showing riches. You're not showing wealth. And wealth is shown when you start making calculators. So your dreams change. Like you said, your 20-year-old is not your 30-year-old today.
Exactly.
So your dreams change. And your dreams are like, all right, cool. What did you like? If I asked you your idea of riches when you were 6 years old, if you asked me, you know what I would have said? Sweets, chocolate, ice cream, biscuits. I'm like, that to me was riches. It's like, if in my head, I don't know about you, I used to have dreams, I say, if I ever make money, I'll have this room, just sweets and chocolate. I don't care on my teeth. I will just eat. That's a kid. That's what they see. So you have to tell the kid, look, you know what? You won't have any teeth in your mouth. And all these sweets, they've got chemicals in it.
That's the truth.
And it's not real sugar. It's not from sugar cane. It's glucose. It's fake sugar. Do you understand that they put a bit of drug, like Coke, it's not just, I'm not talking about Coca-Cola, I don't want to get sued, but they put a bit of cocaine in this stuff that makes you addicted on a level.
More, yeah.
And then you want more and more. And they call it addictives. But you don't tell me what's the chemical. And so, as a kid, you get addicted to the stuff. And honestly, this stuff you get addicted to is what you want to spend your money on. But it doesn't change when you get to an adult. In adult, you learn better. You're like, I don't want a room full of sweets. What do you want? I want a room full of cars, right? How many of these cars do you want? I want every kind of car. I want a Rolls Royce. I want a Lamborghini. I want this. So after you've driven all these cars, then what?
Yeah, I definitely think it's a psychological thing because I don't know, I would kind of speak to them in a sense of trying to understand like slavery, for example. Mm-hmm. You may be physically free, but for a while you have to go through the cleansing of the psychological slavery. Mm-hmm. So even with money, for example, you may start making money, but somehow you still carry that thing of poverty mentality. So it's about cleaning and restructuring your psychology about money so that you actually don't come from the place of lack anymore. And you don't come from the place of being a slave anymore. Exactly. So, trying to understand them in the same breath,
Exactly. And I actually agree with you, Nonhle, right? So with me, I got taught this thing when I was a bit younger, that don't buy something because you can buy it. Buy it because you can actually afford it. And affording something is not the same as being able to buy it. Because I can have a 10,000 rand and buy something for 9,000, but can I really afford it?
Yeah.
But if I have 10,000 and I buy something of 1,000 rand, yeah, sure, I can afford it. I can even afford the maintenance that needs to be done on it. And do you understand? So, and even recently I learned a very valuable thing even, where if you make 100%, don't spend your 100%, spend 40%. Put that 60 into the bank. It can only benefit you. There's no way it's going to be a negative impact to you. It's literally only going to benefit you.
Yeah.
So, I
also learned something recently that, let's say I have the opportunity and they ask me, would you rather buy a little bit of, would you rather get a big portion of something big or a big portion of something small or a small portion of something big? Just someone answer me quickly. I mean, I know the answer. You take the big portion.
The big portion
of something small. Okay.
I'll take A small portion of something big.
Same.
Small
Portion of something big. Yeah. A small portion of something big.
Would you rather have 100,000 worth of shares of like 10 million something, or would you rather have 900,000 of a million?
No.
Because that's just it's 900 million and 900,000. That's it. But if you have something invested in 100,000 or something huge, you can.
True.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
You know what? That actually happened to a basketballer.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name, but he was offered. So Michael Jordan was offered a deal with Nike. And they gave Nike, at this point, Phil Knight, who's the founder, didn't have a lot of money. So he said to Michael Jordan, I'll give you shares in Nike rather than paying you millions of pounds. And another basketball was offered deals in Adidas. And they said, we'll give you shares. He goes, no, I want money up front. So they gave him like £2 million. But the shares of Michael Jordan now has been worth billions. Because you're obviously judging this by day one. Like nobody knows Nike, day one. And then, obviously this guy now took his 2 million. And where's the 2 million today? So
exactly.
it makes pure sense.
Exactly. It's almost like what a lot of artists go through and they're not even aware what happens to them. Like, let's say they sign a licensing deal with a TV station and they do a soundtrack. They'll rather take the upfront payment, which is like maybe a young 300K. Cool. But then they don't even take into account how much they're actually losing from their royalties. Because that track is going to be playing for the next 20 years, every single day, at least 40 times a day. Every single time the song plays, you maybe get, let's make an example, just a rough example, let's say 500 rand. Every single time the song plays. It plays 40 times a day for the next 20 years. How much money did you lose? And you went for that 300K.
You lost a lot. So, I mean, in general, I feel like it's the most important thing to advise any member of your team, staff, about financial literacy. My thing is, the long-term goal is that everybody needs to have a house. The reason why I say the money in the bank means nothing, because the bank is using your money. As soon as you put the money in the bank is investing your money. Use your money and invest it like crazy. They play around with your money. It's not yours. It's them.
The moment you want it, they take it from everyone else.
Put it in assets. It becomes you. You're now the legal holder and owner of property. So kind of cultivating that kind of thing within a team to look at property, because property sometimes people get scared of looking at. And property could be anything, right? Property could be land, farm, etc. A lot of places in Africa, what you find is the foreign people that come into the country, the Chinese, the Europeans, etc., they come in the country, they know the value of farms.
That is so
They
true.
know the value of property. The people in the country, they still excited about the bright lights, right? But the bright lights don't give you food, right?
That's true.
So to have land is cheap today. Land is not going to be cheap tomorrow.
Yeah.
So you're trying to teach the team to be like, that's something that you should be thinking about. So that's so important. So for me, debated wise, financial literacy, you have to. You don't want to see that you're working with to be successful. Yeah. Fantastic. I think we're ready to move on quite swiftly. Warren.
Ooh, it's me. Okay.
Let's go. Okay.
Okay. Explore the ongoing debate about the work-life balance for entrepreneurs, with a particular focus on how women navigate this dynamic. Discuss societal expectations, challenges, and success stories.
So obviously, this show is sponsored by Girl Boss, right?
Which is a success story.
Yes.
So most of the questions in this episode have to also be theme-like. So before anyone jumps in the comments and go, why are you guys talking about females too much? What about males? I know some of you males out there. There is a reason. Let's say everything is themed. Like the next show is going to be themed around influencers. So work-life balance is what we're talking about. And let's talk generic. I'll talk generic. Work-life balance. Very important, right? To achieve it, not that easy, right?
Not at all.
Not that easy at all. But you do have to, I wouldn't say force yourself, as being a family man as well, you have to also be able to say, hey, you know what, Your wife deserves time. Yeah. Your child deserves time, right? Those are important things because at the end of the day, what are you doing this for? If it's not for your family, right? So sometimes, and the life balance, I think that comes back to family. So you can work, and work yourself to the grave, and you be successful, but you have no, quality time with family. So what I do try to do, which I need to do more than often, is even though I'm tired, I want to try and spend a little bit of time with the missus, a little bit of time with my child. And I see the little I do spend time with my child, he picks up on everything. I would literally say something to him, and he would just be repeating it and he'd be like, "Daddy, I missed you, man." You know what I mean? It's on it. So you can't, and children don't understand. You'll be like, dude, I was working for you. I was like doing all this for you. Like, no, all I wanted was your time.
Exactly.
But again, it depends on where you are in life. There's people that are single, there's people that are climbing the ladder. It depends on where you are in life. But, your work-life balance might not be family orientated. It could be health-wise. You can work yourself to the grave. Like, you need your health as well. You need your health to be on point.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. I think that's the one thing that I struggle with is finding the balance between work and myself. I don't have kids, so so it's kind of like, but Nonhle, I also need you. I need you. Like, I can feel the different. Like, I learned the other day that there are different types of fatigue. There's mental, there's physical, there's spiritual, etc. And I realized that sometimes I need to find that balance of, yes, feeling fulfilled with my work, but not feeling bad when I'm not working, because I tend to feel like that. I feel horrible when I'm not working. So I'd rather be home doing nothing than being out with my friends. If I could rather be doing something.
It's like, it's like you keep telling yourself, like, jeez, I could have been making or what. Like,
that 1 minute I could make deal something,
Like with me, right? So I stay with my fiance, and the thing that gets me is the fact that, so when I reach work, I go into, okay, put out the world, go. Focus on this, get it, chase the bag. And then by the time I knock off, I have not necessarily gotten out of that. So when I'm home, I'm still busy. I'm scrolling. I'm still trying to look for potential clients. And then it hits me at a point after being at home for probably an hour and a half to 2 hours, and you're like, oh, I haven't been giving this person attention here next to me. That's when I'm like, hey, how you doing? And I actually go into that moment I need to have family time, because it literally slips your mind at a point. So it is important, and I do agree it is very difficult.
Yeah. It's not, and also I realized that we sleep a lot. We don't need 7-8 hours of sleep. I could function from 5 hours of sleep, to be honest.
Same.
So I wake up at 4:30, and honestly by 10 o'clock I'm pretty much done with my work, almost for the week, to be honest. So then I have free time, and I can hit up my mom or a friend to be like, hey, do you want to have lunch? And then my dog, because he blames me a lot for not spending time with him. He says it through the eyes.
I have a question.
I look at him and I'm like, I'm sorry. I know I promised. I will spend more time with you, And then obviously thinking in some self-care routine as well. I do a lot of meditation. I like to ground outside as well, and just reviving myself. And that's really, really important. Honestly, it helps with the creativity for work as well.
I was actually about to ask, because since you actually mentioned in terms of the different types of fatigue, I'm actually interested to hear how you deal with spiritual fatigue.
So let's say when I'm feeling off balance the most, I know that it's because there's two things that are missing: physical or spiritual attention. But spiritual fatigue, I feel, it's when I'm not aligned with my soul's purpose, and I'm someone through meditation tries to connect with that. I know when life is challenging, for example, or there's too many obstacles or barriers, I may not be aligned with my purpose, because if I was, I'd be going with flow and ease of sort. Not to say that there isn't challenges in life. So
you actually receive it and react to it. Yeah,
exactly. So if I'm moving within the right direction, there's the universal favor on my side. So with spiritual fatigue, just ground more. I try to see with my chakras, because I am a chakra hand, trying to understand which one is switched off. How do I activate it? Wow. I burn some sage, some incense, and touch with get in touch with the crystals as well. So it's really just about going to the source of myself and revitalizing and re-energizing that relationship so that consciously I could also practice what's happening soulfully.
And that does affect the workplace, hey? Like when there's a mismatch and you don't take care of, your spiritual side, like, or even your mental state, because of like sometimes we actually overlook the importance of our well-being because we become so robotic in everything that we do.
Yeah.
That's actually true.
Become a robot. You do this, you do that, you do this, you do that, you do that. And then you actually kind of forget that you're human. You forget the essence of your existence. I mean, you didn't come here on earth to just be a robot. Like you still
we
have
were not created to wake up in the morning, go and try and pay bills so that you can make more bills. And then you just, that's not why we were created. We all have a purpose. And I agree 100% with what you're saying, bro. And I feel like personally, I really feel that something that contributes to that a lot that people don't realize is their cell phones. So I actually try as much as possible to detox from it. Like, no, if you think about it, no, it's literally effects because the frequency that your mobile devices emit, it messes around a lot, like with your spirituality, like everything, like in your chakras, like it messes around with all of that. And I try and detox from my phone as much as possible. Like, I don't care if you are the president. If you text me on a Friday after 5, my boy, I'm going to reply on Monday morning. I'm sorry. It's not happening. That's just how I am. It's not happening. You can text, double text, retext, you can do it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. You see, if my boss texts me, bro, I'm putting it on the airplane. I'm sorry. It's too much stress for the weekend. It's too much stress for the weekend. But that's how I detox. I actually like get back to myself and I center myself in that way. So that's why you'll see on Mondays, I'm always, I would say I'm most productive because that's when I've had the least cell phone time. I've been watching TV, but it's not like I've been binging in front of the TV. Like I take walks outside, just walk on like the ground, bricks, like just feel it, bro. Like, not actually have shoes on.
True.
Just connect with nature, bro.
Sensations. Like, I can be in the house and I'm just like, when last did I walk on the grass bare feet? Just like those little things, like to actually feel like you're alive, like to not wear your shoes, to
go
just
hug a tree or something.
I don't know about I'm not about hugging trees.
Hey, let me ask you that. When last did a thorn prick your foot? When last?
When last?
Like, you don't need, it doesn't even happen because they're always with clothes.
Remind you that you're human.
Remember, we are created dust to dust. You are supposed to connect with nature as a human being. That's where you draw your energy from.
That's why we need to buy phones.
Exactly. So that's.
No, I do agree. I mean, you mentioned grounding, and that's what you're talking about. Grounding is another way of leaving a better life. I think you find the more older you get, you kind of find that most of the things that make you happy in life are the things that are free. Right, so grounding is free to us, and grounding, I will explain it to people that haven't done it yet. It's like charging a battery, because we are from the ground, right? So you going barefoot to the ground actually sending electricity to your whole body. You have electrons in your body, and the electrons connect to your cells, and your electrons charge your cells, and that charges your battery, right? So when you say, Tando's saying hogging the tree, people laugh about it, but actually it's the truth. And a lot of people think it's cuckoo, it's crazy, but it's not really. Because the thing is, trees have more knowledge than humans.
Yes.
Because, there's certain countries, if you think I'm lying and you think this is going to sound outrageous, but Google, YouTube, and see, there's certain countries where the trees are moving.
Yeah,
but
I saw that actually.
They are literally, then this is, because it doesn't happen in your country, just know you're walking. But what it's saying to you is that these trees, that's
you to me.
I'm blushing.
These trees that I've been real with you, these trees are more realer. And if trees could talk, right, you will get some stories.
Serious stories.
Serious stories. And they feel, this is the thing, and it's been, if you want to go science route, if you don't believe in actually nature, which is nature is the most natural thing ever. So if you want to go science is when, you know, chemists and physicists, they actually decide to kind of, like biologists decide to actually look into it in a scientific way. If you want to go science, they've actually seen that these organisms, they react. They literally react. They react to change. They feel pain. If you cut their branches, they feel pain. You know, if you hug them, if you speak negatively to them, there's been so much experiments where people have actually planted something here and planted something here, and one of the things they were abusing, and the other one they were saying kind words and loving words to it. The one that were abused did not bear any fruit, did not even go, was just nothing. Same ground. The one they were saying nice things to grew, blossomed. This experiment is not one-off. It's been done so many times. For you to understand the power of nature. In nature, there's so much power. And then, you know, there's like pecan trees here. You look at a pecan, you open a pecan, you see the size of a brain. How does that connect to what we're talking about, relaxing? You cannot relax if you don't know about nature. So when you're speaking about phones, I understand, because phones emit a frequency that disturbs your whole body. So it actually is even advised that you should switch your Wi-Fi off when you're sleeping. You should put your phones in another room, not next to you. Because people say, oh yeah, my phone was off, it was in an airplane. It doesn't matter. Because your phone is instantly emitting you know, a frequency that's affecting your whole body. Exactly. When it's affecting your whole body, is literally boiling you. Right? It's boiling your brain, boiling your whole cell. Because your whole body, it's not just your brain, it's your whole blood cells, your blood and everything else. So it's so important when we have this conversation to also put it out there that we're not just talking about time spent, because everyone, you said something about, you know, I get up at 4 a.m. I've always been like that for years. I'll get up at 4 a.m. and people will be like, don't you sleep? And I'm like, you don't actually need that much sleep. What it is that you need to know how to replenish your body. Right? What you say that you're tired is your body is tired. Your body can be tired, but don't forget, the reality is what you tell your mind. Your body ain't tired, but your toes is not tired. Your eyes can be tired. Like, have you ever gone to a place where there's so much food? Yeah, you were hungry before, but there was so much food that your eyes saw so much food. You're like, yeah, I'm so tired. Or you cook and you're cooking. Before you cooked, you were hungry. You cooked so much food, and then you're like, I'm not hungry no more, because your eyes are tired of what they see. So your body actually just basically feeds information the mind gives them. So you have to, that relaxation, that life balance is learning how to do it right. Some people, you know, had this thing where I've known a lot of people that want to retire. I was one of them. You know, back in the when I was younger, I was like, you know what, I make millions. I'm going to get a beach house in Mauritius, and I'm going to retire with a cocktail, man. And that happened. And then you drink the cocktail day one, you're on the beach, you look at the room, this guy. Day two, you have the cocktail, you look at the beach, you're like, okay. Day four, that cocktail doesn't feel the same. That beach is like, yo, this is, so you understand that, you know, what you think you will be like, life is not that way. Life is understanding your relationship with nature. You know, that grounding, that understanding, you call it meditation, I call it just freeing your mind. You know what I mean? We it's the same thing, there's a different facet. For me, I feel you have to delete, you have to have an empty mind. Right? But you have to be careful. If you have an empty mind, you can have evil come into that empty mind. So you have to have the empty mind, but you have to protect that mind against everything. But how do you have an empty mind? You have to delete. So you think of nothing. But don't just think of nothing. And then after you think of nothing, you start thinking of something afterwards. You have to think of nothing, meaning that empty all the negatives that happen that day, that week, that month, that year. And then what happens is that the baggage is empty. Then delete it. So that actually will give you more years in your life, because stress leads to the coffin. Because all you're doing is, have you ever met someone that all they're doing is talking about how bad shit is? you know that person. I mean, what you should do is just record the name in your book, address book as how bad shit is. Because they're going to tell you.
So you wonder, so nothing really happens in your life?
Never change.
Everything is bad.
It never change. And you can point out something good, but because
they don't see it that way.
They can't see it that way. They'll tell you point out, yeah, but you won the lottery. But you say I won the lottery, right?
I have to spend so much to actually.
There you go. So that's what I'm saying. So it's that life balance is deeper than just surfacely saying, oh, let's get a life balance. It's about we do have to. I think what it comes down to is there's a lot of things that we haven't been taught and we have to learn, and we shouldn't be ashamed to say, why we do have to learn this. We have to learn this because this life balance thing. You're going to be so surprised. Some of the most depressed people not doing the life balance are some of the most wealthiest people and richest people.
That is actually
and they're more depressed.
Yo, there been so many cases, actually, even here in South Africa, where somebody becomes so successful, builds this business, then drives to a beach and then you're like,
what happened?
But dude,
what happened?
You built this entire empire, you've done this, you've done that, but then all of that, it's like the blessing turns into a curse when you can't.
You don't
find the balance.
It used to happen in here and in here.
It's like what we were saying earlier on in the room. We were just like, oh, you're doing so much and you're doing so well. Like that's so great. But it's like you could do so much, but you could be doing so much of the wrong thing. So much of the wrong thing. You could be putting in so much effort. Like, I'm just after this. I just want this wealth. I just want of that. But it's not fulfilling. And then you get it all and you're just like, but I'm not, I'm so empty.
Exactly. It's like you can build a house. The house can be finished and then someone can be like, but the house is upside down.
Yeah.
The house
is still a house, but it's upside down. So, I get you 100%.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Don't worry, if you do the upside down house.
Funny enough, it's a tourist attraction.
It
It's an house.
You should check it out, actually.
Upside down house. I haven't been there, but I've driven. It's an art to be here in South Africa.
It's 2 hours away from here.
Someone actually go up and build
an upside down house.
People actually pay to go and view.
Yeah,
and
take pictures.
Inside the house
it's upside down.
But no one lives in it, of course.
Yeah.
You know, bipolar is not a crime. Right. I did say it's not a crime. So it's not a crime. It does happen.
Maybe let go.
All right. I'm just going to take the first one at the top.
All right.
Alrighty.
Discuss the role of authentic representation in marketing and advertising.
I think we did.
I think we did this one. I think we did this one.
You need to go right into the mix. And if it's not good, you can do a Nicole.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Who makes a better CEO? Man or woman? And why?
Me.
Debate.
Okay, so this is the last topic of the podcast. And then we go to,
Depends how you're asking that question. A better CEO, are we looking at the companies in the Fortune 100? Are we rating it based on how much a company makes? Which companies are on the list of who makes the most money?
So what actually
or are we talking about the employees, people who want to work for these companies, like people want to work for Google, for example? Is it because they have a great CEO? Like, what are we looking at?
What are we looking at?
I know it's male and female, but
what makes a great CEO? What makes a great CEO?
Let's start with what makes a great company.
What
actually makes a great company? According to, worldwide, if they say this company is really good, then this company is really racking in a lot of money. That is quite honest. I've never seen, it's only a couple of companies that are making so much money that they'll talk about, okay, Google has the most perfect work environment. Facebook has the most perfect work environment, but that's because they're known for the type of money they also make. So I think what makes a great company is what's on the papers.
So the determining factor is sales or the amount of money or profit that they bring in.
Well, in a sense of how they look at it.
I disagree. Who's saying? I disagree. You know why I disagree? Although I love sales and all that sort of stuff, I think if you judge a good company by that, then you should say if you are company A makes guns and they make the best guns in the world and they make billions of pounds, they make more sales than any other company in that country because they produce guns and bombs. Does that make a good company?
No.
Do you see what I mean? You can look at the balance sheets. They've sold most guns and most, but you know where these guns are, and you're working for that company. And you go to what was your achievement today? I did an 8, 5, 7, 8, 9. Blow your brain. Company, come on. Motivational meetings. It's the truth. Motivational meetings. I've got another gun that's got 2 double cylinders. You know what I mean? It will blow your head out. Like this, that doesn't make a good company because it's selling. Those things are selling. You're selling all of these things. At the end of the day, that's not what makes a good company. I think if you want to go down to what makes a good company, I think it's a company that understands. I always say everything that is proposed to you, look at the root word. What is good company? Think about what is good company in your life. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Right?
Company.
What is good? How does good company feel? Does it feel nurturing? Does it feel like honest?
Yeah.
So someone be like, I don't want someone, my mentors, I don't want them to tell me that, but I'm going wrong. I want them to say to me, look, you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. You effed up. I'm like, what do you mean by you effed up? Because you know what? Do you want to let you walk into that room? That room's got fire and you want to get burnt? I want you to be honest with me. So at the end of the day, good company is someone that's good company. It's an organization that's good company in real life, that they are there to motivate the people who are instruments to be better in themselves. Because the more better you are in yourself, more better you're going to be in the company, and you're also going to be better in life when you're a company to other people. True.
So do we genderify that back to the question to say, oh, women make better company or men make better company?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
You can say not necessary, you can say necessary. And the reason why you might have a debate, it might be worth having a debate, is that have you had a female boss? Have you had a male boss? I've had a female boss before.
Same, yeah.
You know, like when I was starting out years ago, and I've had a male boss, right? And my experience with a female boss was crazy. You know what I mean? Yeah, she went hard. You know what I mean? And my experience with the male boss was like George. It was like mentorship, right? But I'm not categorizing that all female bosses are like that. What I'm saying is that was my experience at that point.
You're not
So I'm not generalizing it, but I'm just saying there might be certain things in the two different genders that can make you make a good boss. Because when you have kids in a family, and maybe you guys don't have kids, but you have kids, your kid will be more attached to the mom, right? Because the mom, if it's a son, if it's a son, I mean, the girl will be more attached to you because you're. But then, let me tell you something. Deep inside, the girls, mom wins. Let me tell you why mom wins, because you were breastfed by your connection is next level. You understand what I'm saying to? So why I'm saying is important is the nature of women. Is called the motherland. The motherland in Africa, you call Africa the motherland. So bringing that into business, don't you want to be treated in such a way that's unharsh? Don't you want to be treated in such a way that's family orientated? Do you want to learn that? Now, the real business world is doggy dog world. You know what I mean? Normally. And then what happens is people get into that world and become that world. When what it needs is a nurturing person. You need someone that comes into that world and say, hey, you know what? Let's build a family. Rather than, hey, you know what? Let's build robots. Let's build aggression. Let's build, So that's how I look at it. So in those terms, I feel, a woman who knows themselves can make a good boss because they'll be able to build a company like a family. And the family will be able to create other extended families, and it will be much more successful, and you will actually see it in play. And I've seen companies where that's happened, where you see them and they're like a family, right? And then you will see companies that are head by men who that's happened, and you see them, you're like, but what's your DNA? Who taught you that? And they'll say, oh, this woman taught me that. Because I know me. I'm a lion. I'm ready for the war. I didn't teach myself that. I know my dad too. My dad is like hardcore. You know what I mean? So that's not where you learned it from. So where did you learn? It's like, let's bring everyone together. Let's be calm. Where everyone is fighting. Let's calm every situation together. That's the most important company. And then it goes to that good word that I said at the start. Good company makes you feel away. Right? They tell you the truth. They make you feel good. They also make you feel bad if they're telling you the truth. Because we don't like to hear the truth. You see what I mean?
So, I hear you, right? On my side, personally, this is what I've experienced. I've had a female boss before. And funny enough, that was the most toxic environment that I'd worked in.
Sure.
She was hardcore, to the point that she doesn't care if you come 10 seconds after 8. Not 10 minutes, 10 seconds after 8. The clock already said 8 o'clock. Why are you walking into my place this time? Why are you walking in this time? Then she goes in, right? And then I've worked under males who have showed the most compassion side that you wouldn't even expect it. You like people like Jordan that you know that, okay, this person is a lion, and you would never expect them to have that compassionate side. But they'll literally, like, when you explain something to them that actually is going on in your life, they'll not just, they won't sympathize, they'll actually empathize. They put themselves in your shoes and they're like, nah, I get you. There's something similar like this has happened to me in my life. And one thing that I've realized with us as men, that since we don't talk a lot, we don't vent to our friends a lot. If you can have a CEO or a manager or a boss that can actually be in that position where you can open up to them, it's always a winning recipe.
And that's the thing about leadership, actually, because of I know we're talking about business and companies and everything, but it just reminded me of even in schools, the teachers that are actually in schools and the learners, because sometimes we forget how much time we actually spend within a certain environment, and that environment actually tailors, or rather it shapes our life. Because of, if you look at a child wakes up in the morning, goes to school by 7 o'clock, they are at school, they come back later, after school, homework, they sleep, tomorrow, same routine. So how much time do they actually spend with their teachers? So think about the people who are actually in leadership. What is it that they're actually giving to those who are under them?
You know what? It's such a strong point you're giving, because my long-term goal is to create leadership schools, it's leadership universities for presidents. Because I feel like we are always complaining about presidents of countries being a certain way, but I don't blame presidents of countries. They were never educated. The only way you learn how to be a president is by the person that came after you. There's no school that teaches you how to become a president. And that's the most important thing. That you know how to become a doctor, how to become a lawyer, how to become anything else. How to become a president? Where do you learn that? So all you're doing is you're learning from everybody who's made mistakes. So you get into power, and then you embezzle money, you do all the stuff you do, and everyone's complaining. I'm like, you're complaining. This is natural. This is what we do. This is part of. This is how we do stuff. So no one's learned that. So I leadership, as you said, is so important to learn leadership. Because leadership is not control. People get it mixed up. Control is wanting to impart slavery on people. Leadership is able to lead the sheep.
Exactly. To put it in a bit more simple words, it's literally it's not, leadership is not about turning.
When I say sheep, by the way, I don't mean the animal sheep. I mean the ship.
In the word.
It is not about turning people into slaves, but it's being able to change people for the good without them even realizing that they are actually
100%,
changing.
100%, and that's leadership.
I think those are
That's
the
leadership.
most influential leaders.
Yeah,
Actually,
that's
the ones
definitely.
like they're crafting you.
Yeah, they make
Sometimes
you want to
don't even
change.
realize,
Yeah.
but they just crafting you and they feel the fire, and that's because they see something that is in you that you don't even see for yourself.
Yeah.
That's
You
true.
know,
So
so
it molds you.
it's very. I think with this topic, it's very important actually to have leaders who are conscious of the people that they are leading,
Yes.
and it's not just a matter of, hey, follow me. Okay, where are we going? How are we getting there?
Don't ask, just let's go.
You know, so
And being cognizant of every character. You can't have the same strategy or methodology. Methodology, yeah. To every persona, employee. You have to be cognizant of, Tando, she's a bit like fragile, or she's a workaholic. Douglas is, he really cares about his family. I know he comes from a really hard background, type thing. You have to be very cognizant of how to tread around a particular character if you're trying to mold that character to be a winner and a leader at the end.
That's right. Sure, all your fingers and your hands are not the same. So you need to look at people and be able, and that's good leadership, by the way, is being able to work out people and see what they need to do to become better.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it's the most important thing. I'm telling you, it's the most important thing in life. And when you're tasked that position, when you abuse it, that's where you have a problem. But when you actually task that position, you're able to study and you learn, and you want the best for somebody else. It's a different story. So, guys, is that debated? That's debated.
Yeah, it's not a girl or boy, male or female.
No.
It's leadership.
Yeah.
Leadership is necessary.
Leading the ship.
You gotta lead them.
Not the animal ship. Fair enough. So, did you choose yours? Yeah. So
Yeah.
That was the one.
All right, so that was the end of the box. We always talk of this magic box. There's always anything that comes out of it. It was business themed today, but I don't think the next part of the game, this final game for the show, debated podcast, is going to be business themed, because I think people will come out with some stuff that will be ridiculous. This side of the game is what we call it in the business, truth or shot. Now, I want to explain this to you. Normally I give the time to explain, but sometimes she gives us some explanations that we can't understand. So, we tried last time, and then, I didn't know what game.
We called it truth or dare.
I am scared to pass it on. All right. Let's pass it on to Stan. What is truth or
So
shot?
basically, Truth or Shot is a segment in this podcast where you will be telling us a story or the most outrageous thing that happened to you. And then we can ask you questions based on it and whatnot. And then it's up to us to determine whether it's the truth or not. So if you're right and we're wrong, we all have to take a shot. And if you're wrong and the rest of us are right, you take the shot. So that's basically what
Fantastic. I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't have explained it better. I'm surprised. Fantastic. All right, so guys, I'm talking about this debate. This topics where literally if you are not in business, it will make you want to double as a business. I'm not gonna lie, cheaper. Right. So it's a joke. Right. Right now. Breaking the ice.
Okay.
I mean, it's not going to be fun. Like, when you watch this, it's not going to be fun. Like, at the time, think about it. I don't get it. At the time, at the second it was fun. But we are at that point where Tando has explained, it's called the truth or shot game. Is on every episode of Debated Podcast by VooVix TV. And I think the first person who started this game, as we said, is the person who described the game. Tanda.
Okay. So I've been in a CIT vehicle once.
Really?
All right, so I don't know what a CIT vehicle. What is it?
Cash and transit vehicle.
What is it?
Cash and
Cash and transit. Those
What does that
vehicles
mean?
that transport money and
So
whatnot.
was it Were you working for the company?
No,
Was
I
it your
wasn't
boyfriend driving? Were you La Casa de Papel? Were you trying to steal the money? I'm just thinking of all the different scenarios. No. Put me answer. I'm thinking of every scenario.
No, I was a kid and those vehicles were parked on the side and I was with my mom and I was like, what do these cars do? And then she explained it to me. And I walked up to the security, one of the people who actually worked there, and I asked if I can enter and see. And they were like, yeah, sure. And I entered.
Were they picking up money?
Yes.
What did you see? What did you see?
Huh?
I call it cab.
And I saw every...
I call it cab. I call it cab. I call it cab.
Wait.
I agree with that.
I know. They were picking up money.
Let me go fly the plane.
All right.
You don't believe in the plane pilots?
I don't even see
I
the
saw
plane.
those trolleys. I saw those trolleys that they use. I saw bags. I think that's where the money was. It was like inside and whatnot. And I don't remember most of the stuff because I was a kid.
So they
But
just
Did the
picked
guy
up
have his
money.
finger on the trigger?
Yes, it was always here.
True.
Literally.
Cab.
Cap as well.
Cab.
So we're gonna go around and
All right.
ask everybody. Don't forget, if you get it wrong, you have to take a shot.
Okay.
So Cabello, is it truth or shot?
Guys, I say she's capping. It can't be the truth.
Okay, you say she's lying.
I say it's true. I believe South Africa is anything is capable, bro. So
Okay.
I believe it.
I think it's true because I feel like I've done this with my son before. Like, you see a car, you say, "Oh, mommy, can I go and see it?" And the person will be like, "Oh, yes, cool." I feel that's true, right?
I say she's lying. She can't keep a straight face.
There you go. She's lying.
Yeah.
Douglas, truth or shot?
I say it's cab because ain't no way they're letting me in there when there's money they've just collected.
Even if you're shot.
Ha, no, it's cab.
Yeah.
Tando.
I'm such a liar.
I knew it. I knew it. Ain't no way.
I'm sorry, Jordan.
Oh my days. Cheers. Right. Cheers. Right. Woo. Next on this list, sorry, Warren, is you.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
I'm just trying to create the ambiance real quick.
I don't even have words. Words can't describe it. I think you will. You might.
You might.
You might.
So, I've actually I've went to studio with Gangster CP.
The man literally does studio stuff too. So it might be true.
So I've been to studio with Youngster CPT. All right. We never ended up releasing the song because of the fact that we lost the session. So we recorded the session. And then while we were busy with the mixing and mastering process of everything, we ended up losing a few tracks. So we lost the whole track.
What was your verse?
My verse was the second verse. Oh, you mean like what did I actually rap?
What did you say?
Oh, what I was saying on the actual song is...
I don't want you to tell us what you said.
Sing it.
How was the verse?
Oh, my verse, fire.
No.
That's per usual.
I'm trying to get to the point. Let's hear the verse. Where's the verse?
Cat.
No, behind the verse. Do the verse.
Okay, the verse was like, the flow is the definition of cool, man. I get it straight from my medulla. Oblongata. Now only these faggots wear Prada. I say fuck all these PS3 niggas. Cause all we do is play Saga. Nah, now maybe a Sega, but that's just the part of me that's being colored. I'm getting that brain like a mathematician and arsonist that's on a mission to burn up the studio, melt down the kitchen. I'm down to make money, got no time for dissing. She asked me what is my fantasy and I said being in the winning position. Now at the end it's a song, you'll probably gonna say to me that I be dissing. And that's why I'm solo. I know that the motto is YOLO. I get on that horse and I hit you. Now that's the real meaning of polo. Don't act like you don't know. I carry the game on my hands like it's Hector Peterson. I'd like to cut the verse there because I'm saying something I shouldn't say.
That's convincing.
Yeah.
But the problem is,
He has a lot of songs.
It's like, I've been waiting for this. I'm going to give you one of the finest of my cabinet. And it was
Could have been any song.
True.
Yeah, but
so I never heard Youngster CT on it. Is he Youngster CT?
Yeah, so it's
this guy's Youngster Cape Town, right?
Yes.
So he's the youngest person in Cape Town?
No, he's the biggest person in Cape Town. He's the biggest rapper from Cape Town.
Fair enough.
And he's representing Cape Town as that, and he's actually like, so with me,
when you speak to him, like, what do you say to you?
When I spoke to him the last time, it was like, bro, we need to come through to Cape Town. There's nice things happening here. We got some accent. So that was that's what he was saying, and he actually shared on me because of the fact that we never released the song that we did release.
What's the song called?
The song was actually called Why Gen, the Next Gen.
Very good, you know.
No, you drank that. No, but you drank that. The song was actually called, you know. No, you drank that.
The song was actually. So I mean, it's a very difficult one. I'm going to go for this side and come to this side to give you a chance to spin coming up.
I believe you.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's
you
highly
really
true.
believe him, yeah?
I do.
Fair enough.
And now I'm going to go with true.
He's capping.
This is difficult. 2 for 2. The man I've just drank a shot, so I don't want to lose this one because that'll be 2 shots in a row. This guy rapped, but he could have that in his bunker.
No, it's so true because
I can vouch for that. I think it's definitely true.
yeah, it's true because he explained it in the beginning before when all you had to do was just tell us you got into studio with young CPT, but you told us more.
But then when Douglas, where do you stand? Because you said now.
Yeah, like
no,
he's
true.
It's true.
It's true.
You told us too much before we asked for it.
All right,
We
so
said fall.
I'm saying
Okay, false.
I'm saying
You're right.
I'm saying it's true.
Let's get 3 shots.
What? Sure. What?
1, 2, 3.
What do you mean?
It's false.
Now that I think about it, the reason I gave was the reason why it was supposed to be false because you over-explained yourself. That's a lie.
Over-explain
I'm
yourself.
gonna like when you said you believe it, I believed you. That's why.
No, thing is like, I know him. I know him.
Nah,
You know me when I lie.
I know his real life.
You know, the reason I believe it's true is because I think I actually heard you say something like that. So that is why,
I'm not gonna lie to you. We worked it out that it's a lot. It's definitely a lie. It's definitely that he.
Oh, Warren, you fooled everyone there.
Well done.
Now, let's go to Cabello. Jesus Christ! Oh my God!
So many shots, Jordan. Jesus Christ!
I think it's
Jesus
hard.
Christ! Okay, let's go.
Yeah, guys. Yeah.
Cap.
Such a minute.
Good.
So, while I was still in school, I was actually running my own business, and yeah, you know, I would go from school, and then after school, I'd go to my business, and I would be, you know, working there.
Yeah, that's a good question because you could say running a business and then all you were doing is selling socks.
What kind of
Oh no! The business that I was running, it was a fast food business.
Wait. He might be trying to distract us, right? He could be selling sardines that he stole from his house. But what can he cause it fast food? Like what fast food? What was it? Chips, burgers? What was it? Who cooked it?
Like you see the chips,
Burgers.
not burgers.
How old are you?
I mean, it was grade 11.
How old are you?
So guys, I have to minus the years.
Like 17.
But I was
17.
like grade 11. Yeah,
You were
grade
17. So you had a kitchen?
Matric. Yeah. There was a specific space.
Take us through what you were doing, please. Like, take us through, because
Yeah, so
Tell us the story.
you
tell
did
us the story.
school
No.
and go make
You
the
were going to
burgers
the
or
kitchen.
what?
What was
happened?
But he didn't finish his Story is.
Yes,
You must finish it first.
Yeah. So I can continue. I can take you guys through. So yeah, I would, even sometimes in the morning, I'd actually wake up before I go to school, and then I would be peeling the potatoes there,
And would you be frying chips before you go to school?
No, man. Hey, I'll be smelling like oil.
That's what I wanted to know.
So you fried them after school?
So the potatoes lay in the water the whole day.
Who fried the potatoes?
I mean, it depends. If I frying the potatoes, or whether it's somebody that I got to assist.
Can I ask you a question? How do you fry chips?
How do I fry chips? Guys, Mara,
How do you fry chips?
How do you fry chips? Like after peeling the potatoes, you like either put like in the.
No, you can't put the potatoes in there.
No. Like to like there was this other thing. Like this other machine.
Okay, I know it.
Well,
it makes chips.
Come out as
I know it.
Back in the day, where that high tech. What are we talking about?
No, but like manual. Like you just
exactly.
And then from there,
exactly.
Out, and then the oil is already,
So who was
it's already hot.
this?
You have oil and you're very young and you're dealing with oil right here.
Yeah, but I mean,
I'm feeling concerned right here. You might get burned.
No, but I mean, it all goes with,
Were you selling a nose?
How much were the chips?
That's a good question.
How much were the chips? But in terms of pricing, it would depend because of...
On what? How much was medium? How much was medium?
You charge prices when you see
you charge him 30.
No, guys, but there was different sizes.
How much was medium?
How much was medium?
How much was medium chips? Medium chips. Was 20 rand. What year was this?
I can't remember the price.
Cap. I'm calling it cap.
Who were you staying with at that time?
I was still staying with my father back then. I was still staying with my father.
Oh, you're capping.
No, he's capping. I know he's capping. Now I know he's capping. No, he's capping. No, he's capping.
Let's go down a second, Doug.
He's capping. Cap.
Capping. I know his real life.
You're telling me he's wearing a cap.
I'm going with them because they know you the most.
Capping?
He's capping with capital letters.
Like he's capping.
I'm capping.
Cabello, yeah? I think you're lying. But if it turns to be true, you effed us up.
But be honest.
You cannot explain the process of frying properly. I didn't hear the cutting. I didn't hear the oil, the frying pan, the flowing, what plates, what we have. How do you take it to school? So I think it's cap. If it's true, you everything explains it. What is it?
Ye of little faith.
Oh no.
Oh no.
No.
Oh no.
It's true.
Nah. Call your brother.
Baby.
Wait. No. No, I want you to explain this, bro. No way.
How do you know?
I had my own fast food shop.
What? At 17?
Yeah, I was running it. I would go to school, and after school, I would also come back and actually take care of the shop. And yeah, I would run it. And sometimes when my dad is there, he would also run it. And also, if the other assistant
was it yours?
Your dad had the fast food shop.
Please don't say
Was your dad the owner or you?
You're telling the truth just so we can take the shot.
No,
it was the fast food shop. It was my
What was the name of the shop?
It was called The Zone.
No, Kabela, you said you lived with your brothers.
Yeah, and not your
It was called The Zone.
Cheers.
And it was here in Vereeniging. So those actually who are around the Val area,
You said you lived
with your brothers, Kabelo.
So you've been
You
lying.
did say early in high school. Though.
but I lived with my brothers in primary school.
Okay, guys, welcome to this.
You guys
are wrong.
You have to accept. Oh my god!
And you guys
You have to
said,
accept the truth. You have to. The
you
truth
must
is the
believe
truth.
in me.
Give the short
Jordan
answer
is
so
on
we told him.
Jordan is on 3 shots.
He's not
He's
judge of character.
everything. He's that
Judge of character.
I want to reiterate. I could lose judge your character, but I will never lose everything because I'm a child of God.
Okay.
Because words is anyway. Doctors, Do you know when I said Douglas? Yeah, I heard the sounds of bees outside. I'm not gonna lie. It was comedic. I don't know if anyone heard it. It was like, I heard that. That's comedic. That's the comic value on that is next level.
In grade 8, I stole my dad's car and rolled it over.
Sorry.
This is true, actually.
Yeah,
I can
that's true.
believe
No,
it.
this is true.
They think
Let him finish the story. Let him finish the story. Come on.
In grade 8,
Yeah.
took my dad's car, went on a driving spree with my friends. They just happened to drop off earlier on, and just after that, I rolled over the car.
How many friends?
2.
What are the friends called?
Tato and I don't know the other one.
Tando is that right?
Where were you coming
Tato.
from?
So my dad owned a farm in Ekenhof, right? Where he was building a house. So from there, I took the car from there and went to Turffontein, where we were originally staying at that time. Started, went to my friends, picked them
What car
up.
was it?
Yeah.
An Opel Corsa.
How did you learn how to drive?
I learned how to drive from when I was 10.
Who taught you?
My dad.
And he let you take the car? Or you
No,
stole,
he
you
didn't.
stole
I
the
stole
car?
it at that
Was
time.
it automatic or manual?
Manual.
Did your dad kick your ass?
Nope.
Did you?
Ah, Cap. Nah.
So when your dad found out, he was like, "Son, that was a rite of passage. You did very well."
When they got there, I had just gotten out the car because I came out of that accident without a scratch. I love because she laughed. No, wait, I love.
Actually,
That's why it's tricky because we know he's real life.
Yeah.
The thing is, we know
I
he's
should
real
believe
life.
him.
Yeah.
So when you took this car,
Mhm.
what are the two friends called again?
It was Tato, and I can't remember the other one's name.
You don't remember the other one's name. This
Yes.
is a very important situation happening in your life. You don't know
What were you wearing?
Nah, I can't remember that.
Where's Tato today?
Tato today.
He's sitting next to you.
I have no idea where it is today.
Is you traumatized about the car?
Did you write the car off?
No, it's actually in my yard.
Right now?
Okay, leading
Yeah.
back to my question that I asked. Growing up, did you get a lot of hidings?
Me. From my dad and my mom, yes.
Hidings.
A
Just
lot
like-
of hidings, or did you get hidings?
I got
No
hidings.
hidings, sir.
You got hidings, but not a lot.
Hiding doesn't.
Hidings are beatings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought we were talking about the same
Yeah.
thing.
That's true.
Because Wait. You got hidings, but then you took your dad's car and he said nothing to you.
Did you drive
He got
cars
hidings,
after
not a
that?
lot of them.
Yeah.
No, wait. Douglas, you took your dad's car.
Mhm.
You brought back the car with something had happened.
I didn't bring it back. It rolled over.
And then your dad said, "Welcome home, prodigal son."
No, they picked me up there with the ambulance and
It's
took me
true.
to South Rand Hospital. And
What happened in South
Yeah.
Africa?
they asked me if I needed anything. Am I okay? They checked my eyes, checked
Zero
my toes.
scratches.
How
I
old
only
were
had a
you?
scratch.
How old are
I
you?
was 12.
You said 10.
So 10.
Hold on.
You did say
asked me
10.
when did I learn how to drive?
At 10.
Okay, he's got a clock in
Okay, let
his
me ask
pocket.
you something.
Okay, he does.
He's got a
After
clock
that
in his
accident,
pocket.
did you guys fix the Corsa?
Yes.
Yeah,
It's in my yard.
After the Corsa got fixed, did they give it to who?
To me.
The house.
My matric car, the first car I drive the matric was that
Corsa.
He kept it for me
This is true.
after fixing it.
This is true.
And the first car I was
The Corsa
driving in
standing his
matric
yard.
was a Corsa.
That's
I
true.
stopped using it in first year when they bought me a Toyota Corolla.
You know what I know is true? Because when you lie, you look on your left. When you tell the truth, and you're remembering something, you look on your right. And he just looks at his right to remember. It's the first, but then this could be a fucked up situation.
No, it could
because he
be
said the
really
first
effed
time car he bought was a Corolla, and that's when he looks in the right. But everything he's been talking about is look left.
Yo,
It's a bit of an effed up situation.
I believe you. I like you, Douglas, so much. I don't think you'd lie to me.
That is emotional
Look, she respects the truth. So you gotta be real, bro. You gotta be real.
are we ready to vote?
Ready to vote?
Because I mean, we poked that story and
this is
it's a tough one.
I say it's true.
Wait. Ryan, you gotta relax. You gotta relax.
Jordan doesn't want to be wrong again.
Everybody else take a deep breath. Jesus Christ, sweating. All right, Cabello, gotta relax. Think about what's going on around you. Think about what Douglas is chipping in.
Good one. I say it's true.
True.
That was hurtful.
True is
because that. Wow.
Better think carefully.
Wow. Douglas be lying.
Is number 4 coming?
Oh.
I don't know.
Is
I can't manage it. I can't manage it.
I trust you. I believe you, but my instinct,
I'm saying
my instinct, which I just consulted now, is like nah. And I could be wrong, but I'm gonna go with no. I don't believe you.
I also don't believe you, Douglas.
Nothing notes.
It's yes.
Cool. Let me explain to you.
Wait. Let's ask you the question.
Yes.
True or false?
True or false? It's very true. Grade 8. Woo! 2012.
Yo.
Grade 8, 2012. And Corsa Opal Lights. And now Warren had just said to you that he saw that Corsa in the yard. It's literally in the yard in Walkable.
You said that.
Yes, he said that.
About your dog.
He literally said that.
That's why I was asking, who did they give the car to? Because then it all makes sense.
Warren, you have to say
But he said it.
No, it's too general. You have to say no, they keep it using. I saw the car. I saw the car. No, it says I saw the car.
Sorry, guys.
That was a tough decision for me to make. I was like,
tough. I saw the car.
He said so. He said I saw it in the yard.
You the car. I said, oh Jesus, let's see. Oh my God. Oh,
1 tequila, 2
Jesus
tequila, 3
Christ.
tequila, go.
yeah, that was harsh.
Man, that's painful.
That was harsh. Yo,
Right.
you almost
Guys,
had
how would
me.
I know everything fact by fact like that?
Because Warren did that to us.
That was premeditated.
Warren, I feel like Warren knew the trick.
Yeah.
Warren held the upper one.
Yo,
Nonhle, it's your turn.
I have my turn.
I feel like this.
Oh, I was so mad and at Douglas today because first he sent me the wrong location.
He did.
He sent me the wrong location and I was taking long and I'm a very punctual person.
He was trying to get you to Mexico.
Basically, yeah. And then I went on the other routes as well and I was just really upset. But
Vent, please vent.
now is my time, Douglas. Now is my time after that shot.
You said you trust
No, give him a shot just for that.
just for that. Just for that.
Yeah, thank you.
The wrong location?
The long
I was really upset,
In
babe.
Jamaica, we call that bumper clutch.
Yeah, bumper clutch, man.
Bumper clutch.
But what I didn't tell you is on my way here, I actually had my rear left wheel got punctured. And I don't have slow punctures anymore. So I had to change the wheel in my car coming here.
Yo,
Yeah,
You see your hands?
Lies.
Okay.
yo.
Jesus Christ, this is hard.
I had to change the whole wheel.
This is hard.
Wait, where did you have to change the whole wheel?
When she
Rear
called you,
wheel.
Huh?
Rear wheel.
Where did you have to change it?
There's a Jordan off ramp.
Jordan?
Yeah, there's a Jordan off ramp.
Jordan.
Yeah, it's called Jordan off ramp. Jordan something.
Okay,
Yeah.
Where was this place? Like, was it already here in the
It's called
south?
Jordan.
I don't know if it was already past the airport.
confused.
Just a few
Airport?
kilometers. Yeah.
You said airport.
I stay in Midrand. I come from the north.
Fair enough.
Okay.
So let's say
So it was after the East.
No.
No,
Like
German
Tambo.
Oh, I thought,
Yes,
okay,
exactly.
okay.
And I just stopped where the road
Guys,
goes left or
You guys
continue.
are officially FBI.
Yo,
And
Okay, I need to ask you something.
You're about to be.
When you changed the wheel, how did you untie the knots?
That's a good.
Which
So there's
That's a
just
good one.
I don't know the wording in technicality when it comes to cars, but there's this bolt that I put on that I use to unbolt the rest.
Okay, no, I get you the unbolting. I want to know, like, did you go 1, 2, 3, 4? Did you go 1, 2, 3, 4?
No, but specifically.
1, 2, 3, 4.
No. I think you're in the right lane here.
Yes,
Did you like?
No. This is the right lane. The car stopped.
I stopped it.
Oh, you stopped it.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. I apologize. You need to get the tire off. What's the first thing you put?
Triangle.
What if she's done this before?
That's the thing.
Different scenario.
What's the next step?
And then I don't know the word, but
Yeah.
okay, stop the car, handbrake up, everything. Open the boot, put the triangle, take the wheel out, and take this thing the thing to lift the car up.
So you jacked the car before you untied the wheels?
No.
Oh.
I jacked the car. I first untied the wheel, make it loose, and then I jacked the car.
I'm going with true.
Where were you?
Yeah,
Jordan, off ramp. Like,
No, you, I think you seem like Jordan confused me. So every time you say Jordan,
I think it's in Afrikaans. I think the off ramp is
it's like
Afrikaans.
hypnotherapy. Everything you say, it's like hypnotist. It's true. After you
I was so upset.
Were you?
Yeah, I was.
What
I mean, that's not his
What were
fault,
you
though.
upset about? The
Wrong
fact
location?
that- wrong
Or-
location? Or the fact that
Yeah.
it took you time to put a tire on?
I was upset about that two things had happened before I got here. If it was just a tire and I got to the right location, everything would have been fine. But
Have you ever put a tire in a car before?
yeah, my dad taught me. It's the only driving lesson I ever had.
She
Taught me how to clutch
so
control.
that's why you keep changing tires, because that's the only lesson you have.
No.
Crazy.
It's the second time, and somehow it always happens when I was on my own. And my dad, when I was learning how to drive, said that there's two things he needs to teach me: clutch control and how to change a tire.
So can I ask you a question? 'Cause I like to invest. I love cars.
Yeah.
So every time I see a car, I like to invest in a car. So I'm sorry to tell you that I went underneath the car, on top of the car, I didn't see a spare tire.
Because it's in the boots.
But I saw the booth.
No, you didn't open my car. They opened my car, but not
I
you.
saw a spare tire.
No.
So
It's not under the
Thank
thing.
you.
It's under the.
Yeah, it's actually underneath.
I didn't go to your car. I was just trying to catch you. This is difficult.
I'm gonna go with true.
Oh no, I'm the one. You gotta relax. Just sit down. Have a good time. Have a good time. Just think about what you're gonna say. Have a good time. Have a good time. We're gonna go around and give you a chance to think. This is difficult.
This is very
This is so
And
difficult.
think about it because it's
I
about
failed
your
3
bitch.
times. No, it's not about me. It's about you.
It's you.
It's about you. It's not me, it's you. Okay. It's 2K. Go on.
I just want to ask one more question before we vote.
Ooh.
You said something,
Just
right?
fix your hand, please. 'Cause it's set in circles. I don't know where you bought. I don't know what you
Sorry?
It's set in circles. That's a bit.
It's not the one.
I don't know.
It's the wrong one.
Yeah,
You saw
exactly.
wrong.
It's
It doesn't use your
exactly.
eyes. It's not me.
Exactly.
So, you mentioned something. When Jordan said that he checked under the car for the spare tire, you said that your spare tire is not under the car, but then they said that your spare tire is under the car.
But it's not under the car. He said it's under the
It's
thing
in
in the
the
boot
boot.
because she didn't see it when she opened the boot. But you
Did
have
you
to.
see it in the boot?
No.
It's not in the.
You have
like
to
it's in the
lift-
boot.
Yeah,
But when you lift
covered,
it's covered.
by
I
something.
feel like you've been bribed by the police officers. You gotta relax.
When you guys open the boot,
What
did you
did you
guys
see?
catch the
What
smell
did
of
you see?
oil or like?
Because I
No,
feel like
I
I
just
feel like
saw-
she didn't walk in like someone's changed the
I
tires.
just saw a box of products.
Exactly.
That was it. And her
Nice cap.
handbag. And that was it.
I've been, supposed to add on, I've been smashing grabs in my handbag on always stays in the
Smash
boots.
and grab.
Where they smash the window.
And then they grab
yeah.
the bag and then they run.
So it always stays in the boots.
But she's going for the emotion. Like honestly, I'm drained. She's gone for the emotional street.
I'm drained. I'm drained.
She got me the smash. I'm not emotional.
That's so funny.
No, you fucked us up.
Yeah, that was traumatizing. This is South Africa.
But no. But the way you did it,
The delivery.
the delivery, hurt
Yeah,
me.
no, that was traumatic.
That was traumatic. So I don't know. Like that. Whoa! If this is a lie,
But also,
No.
I had
Okay,
time.
this is a lie. That's
I
not
had
good.
time with her.
It's
Emotionally blackmailing
I can't trust
you.
no more.
No, but you see, the thing is, I had time with her prior to the recording of the podcast.
Yeah.
And she would have mentioned something of that nature
She would
if
have.
it happened. I
She
asked
would've.
how was her ride here. And all that.
Fantastic.
No, you didn't ask me.
The only thing she
Wait.
mentioned
Yeah.
was the fact that she got lost a bit. And that was it.
That's the because you didn't ask me how was my ride. You asked me, did I get lost? I said yes.
This is true.
Honestly,
wait.
this
And
hurt-
I'm not that
it's hurt my
person to
feelings.
get
It's
an
hurt my
offload.
feelings.
I don't want you to feel sorry for me.
Oh,
I still think it's false.
she went for the 5th gear. You tried, but you go that way, you can't come back. The 5th gear is fucked.
I still think it's false.
Guys,
I
we're
think
gonna go
my
around
mind is
because-
made up.
No, guys, you gotta relax. You gotta relax. We're gonna go around. Officially. Cabello.
True.
Hang on 1 minute. Your judgment, I think. Think about what you're saying. You're saying true.
So upset. Douglas.
I know.
There's no point, Douglas. It's all over.
The-
Because at this point, we're effed.
What are the
We are
shots?
pretty it.
Should I elaborate the reason why I'm saying it's true, or I mean, I can just say it's true.
Camilla, I think the point of this is that you
To
have
help
to
the next
help
person.
someone help themselves.
Should I? Oh, okay.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus.
I say it's true
Why?
because I would expect that from a girl boss.
Wow.
You know, wow.
What is this? Done. I finished my life.
Thank you.
If I could spell disappointed,
No.
I would be spelling this.
Yo.
Pointed.
Yo. Cabello. Okay, wow.
I respect you, Cabello, but I'm disappointed. Warren, please don't follow Cabello. I'm asking for you, Cabello. It's very. I think what she's done, she's really fucked up. Please use your mind. But if we're gonna look stupid. Use your brain. Think about the situation.
I'm going to be honest.
Attire in the middle of Jordan.
On the M3 down.
Where's Where's your
No, I'm dying, guys. What the hell? No, guys, we should play this game every Friday. I swear.
I'm like, it's true. So that means,
You asked me about the off ramp. You must know.
there could be a road called Warren Road. Imagine someone says Warren Road. You'd be like, yeah, it's true.
I know off frame, right?
Thank you.
But I'm going to say it's cap. Reason I'm saying it's cap is because of the fact that you've been overselling it. And when he said that that's the moves of a girl. But you see, now you're making me doubt again, Mike. How you agree
But you've already said,
it's cap.
All of us.
It's cap, bro. You are good.
Jordan,
No, hang on. You gotta relax. You gotta relax. Let's not
Still
use
go with the way.
Okay.
Like,
I still think
You gotta relax. You're gonna come. You're gonna. White is a different. Kuleka. Alright. Douglas has broken because you and Douglas share a relationship together, and I feel like if you lie to Douglas or if he lies to you, it's effed.
No, it's not. Douglas and I are deeper than that.
I'm gonna go with Jesus. Did you see that? This is hard. I feel pain.
yo, this is like a stare down.
Right?
I know you were mad.
Oh shit!
Yes.
I feel pain. When he said mad, I'm not gonna lie to you. I felt the pain.
Oh, did you?
I did feel the pain.
Yeah.
Did you feel the pain?
Oh, I felt
You
the pain.
felt
I
it.
was the pain.
Oh shit! Douglas, you have to really get it.
Choose wisely.
This is deep. This is too
actually
deep.
really
This is
hard.
like tension.
You
I feel the tension.
came across the accident, right?
That was, the car had stopped in M3 before.
No,
Yeah.
navigating.
I did. I called him to say, hey, there's an accident or there's a lot of traffic on the
How long would
M3.
it take for you to change a tire?
Oh,
You can do it in 10 minutes.
What time did I say I was going to get here? What time did I get here?
11,
You got your 30 minutes late.
40.
But didn't you get delayed by traffic? Or the
Yes, but I told him that I would be here at
now they are like
11:32.
getting to work.
I know how to change a tire in 10 minutes. This shouldn't take too long.
Because her dad taught her. Think about it.
10 minutes.
Wisely.
This is difficult. This is
What time did I get here? I actually got here 10 minutes after I told you what the GPS said I was going to get here.
Honestly, the comment section is going mad.
Yeah.
People are going mad. People are going mad. It's emoji set.
Wow.
It's emoji. Fire.
Nonhle, wow. Oh, God. I did. They gonna take a shot either way.
Oh no.
Hey, why do you have to take shots? I don't want to take a shot.
So choose wisely.
Choose very wisely.
That's emotional.
Very
True.
emotional.
I'm going with true then.
You feel like it's the end of your relationship.
If this is false, you really mind fucked me. I promise you. If this is false,
No, honestly, I don't know what the outcome is going to be. Whatever the outcome is, the mind fucking is real. Like this.
Nah.
I'm sorry. I also want this to end. So I want us to be honest, and I'm trying to be honest with you guys.
Yeah, I'm gonna go
Honestly,
true.
I don't want you guys to feel like I'm mind fucking you guys.
No,
I'm
but
actually
you
trying
are
to tell the
mind fucking.
truth.
It's extremely like it's extreme. Like literally, I worked this out 2 seconds, but the 3 times I
True.
fucking failed. So you're saying what?
True.
Tando, it's your time to shine.
Honestly speaking, I still say false because, like I said, we had one-on-one time before we walked into the
I listened to your one-on-one time.
On your radio.
Yeah,
Oh,
so yeah, so we heard everything. I still think that she would have mentioned something of that nature, even if she didn't say that, oh my God, I effed up my tire or something like that, but like, I had a bad experience on my way there or something like that. She would have said something like that, you know, because I kept asking, I'm fine, and whatnot. But then she also mentioned that she's not the type to offload, but also I still
She
think that
meditates as well.
something of that nature, you just bound to mention it to someone. I don't know. But I still feel like it's
Yeah, if she's a girl boss, she won't mention that kind of stuff. She's just
okay.
She'll be like, look, I'm a boss.
Jordan.
Okay, Jordan.
Jordan. No, it's you, and she got stuck on Jordan Street.
Jordan, let's go.
So you say false.
I say false.
Okay, false.
Your problem is,
False, true,
Wait, you
true.
didn't want to be false alone.
So it's false, true,
I know
true.
I'm right when I say you're wrong.
keep going.
This is like, help me.
Keep going.
No, you can do it.
All right then. Okay. You know, when I was in Jamaica, right,
Bomba clap.
when people wanted to say something, they say, "All right then." All right, and that would give them a chance to actually think. So I worked it out. When someone says, "All right then," it gives them a chance to think. I try to think. Unfortunately.
Jordan's killing me right now, bro. Like, there's no way.
You have
Has
poker
given poker face.
You forget the poker face so much that it's difficult, and I'm gonna feel look, honestly, I feel like a loser if I lose this one. Ah man, Jesus Christ!
Jesus Christ.
You know what? Why do you have to mention Jordan? But
That's where it happened.
That's the only thing. That's the only thing in my head. All right, cool. You know what? All right, cool. You know what? Nah. Right.
All right,
The
then.
debated podcast. All right.
All right.
All right then. You haven't seen your hands? It's true. I think it's a lie.
Hands clean.
I think it's a lie. No, your hand, like, not by your hands.
No.
That was just bullshit. But it was
I think
not
it's a
by your hands.
lie.
I think it's a lie.
But
Are you going with false?
oh,
Is it
true.
Okay,
false?
false.
You going with
Oh,
false?
you changed your mind just now.
Yeah, I think it's false.
I wish you
No,
had.
she's
Because you
happy.
know what? You know what
happy.
it is, yeah? I'm very good at shit. Because it was what I did there was 2 seconds. It's false. What is it?
Wait, what did you do?
No, I'll tell you after.
No.
I want to know.
Is it true or false?
But-
Because I wanna laugh really hard when I tell you that it's true.
Oh, shit.
I actually changed my own tire, guys.
All right.
No, but wait. We're getting there. We're going to ask you officially.
Take it.
Oh,
Guys,
Wait.
That's true.
It's true. I changed my tire. Yeah.
Thank you.
That's what I said. Isn't it?
Thank
So
you.
it's true.
No, you.
No!
You good.
No,
Yeah. No, it's just
wait,
you.
wait,
Like,
wait.
you three.
Wait.
I actually changed my own tire, guys. At Jordan, I can remember the ways. She kept saying, turn,
Guys.
continue straight.
When was the instinct?
And I kept looking. Why would I lie?
Shit.
So wait.
It's easier to tell the truth.
Who got it? So this happened for real?
Yeah.
Me, you, and Jen got it
On
wrong.
my way here.
So-
I remember the
I
GPS.
knew of it. That's why I told
Oh.
you. You know what you did? When you did to F me up, you showed me your hands. You shouldn't show me your hands. Because your hands were perfect. I said, there's no way. No, it's all right. No one see it. No one see it. Anyway, so you're drunk already. You were wrong. Camilla, were you wrong?
I said it's true.
He said
They
it's
said
true. Thank
And
you,
Douglas
guys.
said
Thank
it's
you.
true.
Like, thank you so much for forgiving me.
I didn't believe in you until you told me about the hands.
So you said Jordan, bro.
You said Jordan,
You
bro.
can see
But also,
everyone.
Nonhle, how do you keep quiet about such an issue?
Because it's not your
Especially
problem. It's not your problem at all.
But
I
I
said to Douglas when I got here, I'm like, Douglas, you owe me a car service. Did I not say that to you?
So Douglas knew the truth.
Yeah, basically, and he kept it from us.
So he knew about the car service.
Like-
Where is Douglas?
And he
So-
kept
That
it.
is
So mine's very simple, right? I was 20 years old, right? I was 2 years into the business. And I didn't have a car because I'm 20 years old. I had to use the train. On this day, I was doing interviews for new staff members for our company. Our company, our offices were based in a place called Hackney, which we're now in the West End in London. But in London, Hackney, back in the day, this is the 90s, people used to call Crackney for obvious reasons. There was a street called Murdermouth. You don't want to talk about that.
Bands were selling food and murdering.
So anyway, I was on my way to the office. I didn't have a car, so I had to use what we call in the business a train. I was on a train and I sat. I was standing because the train was packed. In London, trains are packed. Everyone's going to work. There are some guys going to work. I'm sorry, Douglas, you think it's cat, but you're going to think about it. Anyway, my good old shoes were smashed by this lady. She smashed my shoes. I turned up to her. I said, very politely, because I'm a young guy, I'm in my 20s. I'm in my first day in my new office. I'm polite. I said, excuse me, miss, you were smashing my shoes. She's like, I'm sorry to say this to people. She said, F off, fuck off. I don't really care. I'm going to work. You should take your shoes off. I'm like, that's not a way to talk. I'm 20 years old, so obviously I'll be like, that's not a way to talk. Like, you smashed my shoes. Like, and she was mouthing, and she kept talking. And everyone in the train just said to me, don't worry. It's like what Cabello just did, brushed the dirt off your shoulder like Jason. There you go. So anyway, I got to the stop. It's called Hackney Central. Came out of the station. Walked to the office. Went to the office. Remember how the story started? It was my staff interview day, because it was the first day of the meeting. So we're doing interviews. And we had probably about 250 people show up. Right? So we're looking at people who are coming in doing interviews in Hackney Central, doing interviews. And this girl walked in. And when she walked in, I recognized her because she was a girl who smashed my shoes on the train.
She was the one who told you to F off.
Yes. And she was the girl. So she was embarrassed. She went red. And I just kept it cool. So I was like, what's your name? In my head, I already knew. She was embarrassed because she knew I knew, we knew, everybody knew. And because the first thing I did when I came in the office, I got in an argument on the train. I told everybody in the office. And then, I interviewed her. And then in the end, I explained to her, I said, look, you know what? You have to really be careful how you walk through life. You never know. The person who you insult on your way to the top could be the person you're going to meet on your way to the top. That's what I said to her. I won't tell you what I did in the end, whether I hired her or not. But the key message was...
Before you guys make a decision, you see the story that Jordan is telling? I literally, and this is my hand on the Bible vibes, I've went through the same situation and I was the girl.
Oh? You're a girl?
No, I was the girl that No, I was not a girl. But I was the person that had said something to someone, not knowing that I'm going to be in an interview with this.
That's a very common story, is what you can say.
So I say it's true. It's possible. It's happened to me, so I say it's very possible. It's true.
Do you know, from when he sat down, then he was standing up.
No, I wasn't sat down. I was standing up.
In the train, right?
In the train, right? Mm-hmm. And...
Because how would she have stepped on your shoe for sitting down, right?
Because when you're on a train and it's packed in London, everyone is holding something like
that's why you had to tell us.
Is when you're like, that's what I'm trying to tell you now. So when I'm like this, someone's going to walk in the train and they don't see your feet. They don't really want to step in your feet. It's not intentional. And they can step on your feet.
Exactly.
But the problem is, instead of saying sorry,
she was like,
but you had to correct yourself is what Douglas is saying. Because first you were sitting and then you're like, oh, sorry, standing on the train. Because if you were sitting, she wasn't going to be able to step on your feet.
I'm not going to lie,
but that's after the shots though.
There's a lot of drinks going on.
Every round.
It is after the
What position was she applying for?
She was applying for
No, that was a great question. No,
Let me tell you something. 1 and 2. The one is that I've drank a couple of drinks. Number 2 is that, of course, you know what I mean? You've asked the question.
What position?
She was advising. Even the words get from that. Even the words.
Hi guys, no, sorry.
Wait, hold on.
You guys supposed to.
Hold on, you can tell us the story. You can tell us the story after all these drinks.
I can tell you.
Did she get hired?
Wait, answer the question.
So before I answer the question, I've got to let you know that when you ask a question after a couple of shots, the shots go to the head. And then your head goes,
It's a very straightforward question, Jordan.
Tando, it's all right. It's all right. He called you Tando. You didn't think about it. She was applying for PR assistant.
PR assistant. What does PR stand for? Okay.
I saw you going with that, but I was locked. I had to get rid of that. I got in my brain to get right into the mission. Yeah.
What's her name? What was her name?
Giselle.
Okay. She said she went red on the face. She was pale?
She was white.
Okay.
I'm sorry to say, but she was actually white. No, I mean, we're in the UK. This is not South Africa. It was the UK. And the majority of the people...
What shoes were you wearing?
I will never forget this. What she was wearing, right?
What shoes were you wearing?
Oh, shoes I was wearing.
I know.
No, guys, wait. Let us finish. Let him land. Let him land.
Tando, check this out. What shoes were you wearing last week on Monday?
Jesus, I don't know.
But she stepped on your shoes
20 years ago.
How come now you're revealing your age? But anyways,
no.
Think about it.
Okay, how come you couldn't remember what she was wearing?
No, but honestly,
you said I'd never forget this. What she was wearing.
This, but I'm not gonna lie to you. I can tell you any shoe. Wait. I can tell you any shoe, but I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't remember the shoes I was wearing.
Okay.
I think it was probably trainers. Because I used to wear a lot of trainers then, but I can't remember.
What was she wearing?
Jordan, honestly,
I can remember what she's wearing.
What was she wearing?
She wearing high heels, right? And I remember it was high. It was like the heels were very high because when I think she was 5 foot, like 5'5", she was not that tall, but she wore heels that made her look taller.
18, right?
Yeah.
Jordan used to say.
So, Jordan, you said 18, right?
No, he said 20.
You said it 20.
20.
What, 20 what?
He was 20 years
You
old.
said it was 20 when you're doing
Yeah.
the interview.
He said it twice.
Yeah.
Hang on.
No, not 20 years into the business.
2 years
20 years
into-
old.
He said
years into
he
the
was
business.
20 years old.
And he started at
Jordan used to
18,
walk
so-
to work.
Yeah, I used to.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
when I
could be
first
him
started,
taking
yeah,
a train
100%,
to work.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
What
took a
company
train.
were you working for to be recruiting
No,
people?
this is my company.
Oh.
It was my company. I started it, 28 years ago, 27 to 8 years ago. And I was,
How many people were you interviewing that day?
it was a lot. It was hundreds. Sure.
You said
Wait,
250.
You said the
You
exact
said
number.
250. No, but in the
But you
story.
weren't given an
in the
exact
story,
number.
In the
You would have given an
story.
exact
He
number.
said
Warren, bro.
250.
Don't be winded.
Don't-
Yeah.
Warren.
Don't-
Warren.
Don't do that.
Warren is
No.
winded.
I wasn't counting. You said 250.
Warren.
That's what I heard.
Warren, you're getting winded. Warren.
And now you're saying
Warren, you're getting winded, bro.
I said 100.
Bro, Warren, you're getting winded.
No, I'm not. Listen,
Okay.
remember, he said about 250.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
Yes, you
That is
did.
not the exact number. It's
But he would have
about-
said that
Then
again.
now he would have
Warren,
said that
if I
again.
ask you that same question
Now
again.
you're saying 100.
Oh.
He said hundreds.
I heard that.
250 is still hundreds. It's
Okay.
200s and a
Okay.
Come on,
That's
guys.
fine.
Very
Come on, guys.
disappointed.
use your brains.
Okay.
Let's do
Still
the
after
round.
the
Let's vote then.
Yeah.
Are we brains to vote?
Yeah, we
Let's
are.
vote.
That's
Let's
enough.
Let's vote.
So hang on 1 second.
Let's
Jordan
vote.
It's true.
True.
be very disappointed.
Yes,
Cabello.
I don't care where you go. So let's go for the facts.
Cabello.
Cabello. That was the right pronunciation, no?
Yeah.
Right.
I say it's true.
True.
Arthur.
I say it's true and I want to give my reason why.
Ah, it's fine.
The reason I'm saying it's true is because of the way that I've gotten to know Jordan by now.
Oh my God. This
I would
is the
say-
trick.
Oh, shit.
That's the problem.
This is the trick. This is the trick.
The way you see the story, right? Three things to say. First thing is that it's true. Second reason. Okay, first reason. It's three things I want to say, but two reasons. First reason I'm saying it's true is because of the fact that I know that Jordan most probably still employed that person because he didn't want to penalize her for one mistake that she made. Because of the type of person that he is.
But
And he also said-
And she probably still works
Yeah.
for the company. That's why he didn't want to give her name and he didn't want to mention her.
But it's okay.
And second reason I'm saying that is true, it's the Cactus Jack. It's not me.
Fair. That's a good one.
That's good.
Okay, no, okay.
Douglas. No, don't you.
It's camp, bro.
Yeah, okay, why are you saying tip?
No, it's camp. You know,
I know.
I'm telling you, it's camp. Nah,
It is
it's camp. I'll tell you now. Okay, first, guys, no matter what, we've talked about the drinking, and Jordan doesn't get drunk over easily drinks, first of all. And whenever you're gonna ask him a question, he'll repeat the same answer more than once. Don't forget that. Wait, and I'll tell you, the first question when they asked him how many employees, he said about 250. The second time, he was like, nah, loads, hundreds. He's a very straight person.
He's very specific.
No, I'm going camp. No, you can't. You can't. You can't. I can't. You can't.
Okay,
You can't.
I'm also gonna say false because I feel like I've never heard this name before. Firstly,
What name?
Giselle.
What name was it?
Giselle.
Oh, Giselle.
Like,
Guys, this is.
Let me take my shot.
I'm giving you some.
secondly, Jordan tells us a lot of stories, but he has never mentioned something of this nature.
You forgot.
No,
He's
never.
never mentioned.
No,
I
he's
did.
never.
Are you sure?
He's
It's
never.
fine. It's fine. Leave them.
Never.
Leave them.
Never.
I told Warren he's winded. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah. So I said,
Leave
no.
them.
I know.
Leave them.
I know him. I know it's real life.
Definitely false. Based on, I asked you the most questions because I just was really trying to
You guys have many questions.
Yeah.
You ready for your shots?
False.
Yeah.
False.
Yeah.
And
No, please continue.
Yeah, you weren't consistent with your story. And you explained during my time that in Jamaica, they make, they're in the and you did that so many times. You did that so many times.
Jordan, let's hear it.
Wait, let's wait for the final
I hope you guys are ready for your shots.
Yeah.
So.
Gang.
This story, I've had it in my head for years. And I was like, wouldn't it be funny if this kind of shit happened? I told you guys! I told you! You winded, bro! I told you you winded!
Long time ago.
No, besides that, like, Jordan is very specific on certain questions.
Yes, he's a very
Don't do shallow.
Surface level.
Partially true.
So if he said 25 years ago,
I literally went through something like that.
I still think it's partially true. Am I naive?
It's a movie. You've seen this all the time. Thank you.
Jordan's literally crazy about this.
No, for real. We really
I shit you not. This was in 2013 or 2014. I had an interview at the bank, and about 3 weeks before the interview, I went to the bank because I had worked for the bank previously, but then I resigned within a year. So I had to pay back 10,000 to the company. So when I went to the bank to get the actual details that I can make the payment to, the lady at the door was giving me an attitude. So
I'm not gonna lie,
and I told this
I
lady,
feel like this story happened to me.
I don't have to believe you're online now, you know?
Attitude at the door. I'm like, just so that you know, I'm not working for your company. At this point, I am a client. So next time, please treat me with some decency. And 3 weeks later, I was in an interview explaining to this woman why I want the job.
That's mad. That's actually mad.
So yeah.
Well, there you have it. Right? That was truth or shot. You see how fun this game is? Guys, if you're playing it at home, it's copyrighted. So we need to get some kind of royalties. I see you guys sit at home playing truth or shot.
Hashtag truth or shot.
I take my royalties in the form of Cactus Jack shot.
Don't say that too far. That's a form of no royalties. I wanted to give you finance. All right then. Okay, look, it's been an amazing show today, and special thanks to Nonhle. Fantastic.
Thank you for having me. It was so much fun. Thank you.
So much fun. This debated podcast show, and massive shout out to all the team, Douglas, Tando, Cabello, Warren, and obviously myself. I forgot my name.
I've got to say,
name of that road.
And I mean, I've got to say that, you know, Nonhle is such a wonderful personality.
You've got to say,
you know,
I
just want to say that, you know, she's got such a wonderful personality.
I have to say,
good guys.
I'm not gonna lie to you, Cabello. That's the reason why networking is very difficult with men and women, because that was a challenge.
But guys, I mean, how can I miss this? I mean, she's got beautiful tattoos. I mean, look at the tattoos.
You see, he's starting. He's starting.
I mean, wait, but I mean, look at the artwork. I mean, before we end the show, I really want to know, like, the inspiration behind the artwork.
That's deep, yeah.
Okay, thank you for that. But these are some art that I created myself, the ones on my arm. And this is like my little sister, we call her the busy bee. And I love having her around. So it's just always good to look at her. Of course, I have to have a bit of Africa. You know, that's home, that's the heart. And on my foot, I've got a lotus. And a lotus is...
What's a lotus for?
Lotus is the only plant that can grow where it's just horrible conditions for anything to grow. So it can survive anything.
That's a reflection of yourself.
Of course, yeah. I've been through it. And still
What have you been through? Because some people have been swimming for alcohol for their whole lives. I have seen these people, they're leaving the beer factory, just keep on swimming. Like, we've been through it. No, you're
I've been through life. I think the hardest challenge of life is really just facing yourself and overcoming the limitations that you have. The woman in the mirror. And she's made it, and she still grows very beautifully wherever she is. So and then
what's next up to you?
The other leg, I have a Dharma wheel. It's actually quite
Go on.
okay.
Go on.
It's an Indian wheel of rightness. Yeah. So it's
I
always,
saw that.
yeah.
Cat Williams
Yeah,
on
yeah.
his chain. He had the same thing there. The camera people are like, oh no, we can't pan into that. Just pan into Cat Williams, and you're gonna see the same thing. So it was the same thing. So what he was wearing, that was significant. You saw that.
Yeah,
you
I saw
clocked
that
it
as
too.
well. Yeah.
What did you clock?
A Dharma wheel. It's the wheel of rightness.
It's not Freemasonry or nothing.
No, it's not. It's a very Hindu, very spiritual. Like,
Disclaimer. I'm a child of God.
no, it's not Freemason at all. It's a very spiritual wheel of rightness. It's called the wheel of rightness. Always trying to remind
where does
you.
wheel come from? Because that's educational. That's why. I mean, it's good that you asked that question because I was close enough. That is quite educational. Where is this from? Greece, UK, Africa?
India.
Ooh,
Yeah.
okay.
Dharma is the wheel of rightness from
Dharma.
India. Dharma.
Like Jeffrey Dahmer.
No.
Sorry, I'm asking. When I hear Dahmer, I'm like, what?
Sharp.
Dharma wheel.
Alright. Because you know there is the yin yang from the Asian culture, which is obviously balanced.
Yes.
So this, look, you're educating right now. This is a symbol of
Rightness. It's
Rightness.
a wheel of rightness. Always trying to maintain a state of rightness. Right thoughts, right contemplation, right intention, right heart, right meditation.
okay.
Yeah, it's just always trying to practice rightness in a world that always can bring out something that is otherwise,
I actually love it.
Nonhle, I'm being honest with you. Like, I would love to ignore what you just said, but I will be a hypocrite. How? How are you knowing about this, and then 90% of people don't know about this? What is going on?
It was during the dark times when I was really just facing myself and really just trying to understand my reason of being. So I think we go through a rabbit hole trying to find an answer for self. And you want to live according to how your soul really is. And that's honestly a rightful way to live. So I came across that.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's
I see. So then you have one tattoo here. It's called freedom.
Freedom, yes.
See how I?
Yeah. Freedom is the most important thing because I realized that it's not something that's given to you. You have to go and get it. They say
Pause.
okay.
You gotta relax.
Yeah.
You gotta relax.
Yeah.
Freedom is not given to you. You have to go and get it.
Work.
Because you might say it can go over your head like a private jet.
Yeah.
Yo.
They say
Freedom.
yeah.
Dr. Sebi.
Wow.
Oh, did you know Dr. Sebi? What? Okay.
Oh, wait, Dr. Sebi.
Dr. Sebi.
That's good. That's great. That's great. I mean, like good minds. You don't know, get to know. So, freedom. Because sometimes we say things, and my job is to always be like insinuate. Maybe that's not the right word. Insinuate. Insinuate means you actually put emphasis on what someone said. Because if you ignore it, you've not learned anything. Because I learned from you. Like when I saw this, it reminded me of Cat Williams. And I saw a chain that made me remind of this. And I've learned something from you that I never knew before. And I have to have the ego to drop the ego to understand that learning. So when I'm talking about what I've just said about, what does that mean to you?
Dropping the ego. Yeah, dropping the ego. Ego is good in certain instances in life, especially when you're coming from a place of low vibration, if I could say that. So it's good to apply your ego because it can help you overcome certain instances.
How does that work with freedom?
Freedom is actually something that you really are. They say we are born in a free world, but in the true sense of the world, we are free people. We just unfortunately are born in a place where things are controlled for us, so we have to go fetch it.
When you have ego, are you carrying ego when you have freedom?
No, they cannot coexist. They cannot coexist. Freedom is the ultimate state of being.
And how do you achieve freedom? So someone's watching right now and they're looking at this and saying, I'm inspired by what we talked about. This is great. I've learned something today. But I don't feel free. I'm not a slave. I don't feel like nobody is controlling me. I don't just feel free.
Then let go of ego and live from soul. That's your truth.
Okay.
That's a wrap.
And that's how you wrap up.
That's a wrap.
That's how you wrap up the show.
That's a wrap.
Like,
No, that's a wrap.
That
And that's
is
a wrap.
literally how you wrap up
And
the
that's
show.
a wrap.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls,
Girl boss.
come to the end to this week's Debated podcast, sponsored by Girl Boss. And don't forget you can subscribe to our channel, VooVixTV.com, and you can get to know more about Girl Boss by going to
Our social media handles, which is at girlboss_SA on Instagram, and on Facebook, it's girlbossSA, or visit our website on www.girlboss.co.za.
That was the Debated Show. You said we could do it, business themed, and we killed it. Take care, look after yourselves and each other. Let's go.
Of the Debated podcast. Make sure you subscribe, share, and tell a friend about the Debated podcast on YouTube and on VooVix TV. Sign up on www.voovixtv.com.